Hello and welcome to the Fourth Culture. We're back. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year!
Yay! My name is Ramji and I'm your Dungeon Master and Guide for today. And as you can see, we play an ongoing game of Dungeons and Dragons every Monday evening at 7 p.m. in Singapore. I'm lucky enough to be joined by an intrepid group of explorers. With me is the... I'm thinking, what's a good New Year? What's a good New Year adjective?
Festive.
Well, the festive, indeed, festive.
See you there.
Dan. Oh no, gosh, this is going well, isn't it? And then the
Auspicious.
Well,
Not really.
the auspicious, Lisa, yeah. The Sheena Chan. And finally the
Quick think of something, I don't know.
Spiky.
Pointy.
the spiky
Pointed.
Choy.
Pointed.
Yes.
Yeah, very pointy.
Told not to wear black, but still came in.
It's dark.
No,
It's true.
Sort of a maroony colour.
No, it's not.
Sure.
What is this cultural difference from the UK? This is not maroon at all.
Well, maybe it's just the bottom of it, the shirt. It has a certain purplish kind of like... Anyway, sorry, thank you everybody. We indulged that. And last but never least, or in fact, together we have a couple of producers with us tonight. We're lucky enough to have both Hans and Cheryl. Fantastic. Well, with no further ado, I'll say again another welcome to everybody who's coming to join us today, and a big thank you to the folks over at Gamesaurus Rex for helping to bring us together, as well as the folks at Games of Pi who've been super generous to us and have been kind enough to donate on our Ko-Fi site. I'm not supposed to. It's Ko-Fi, coffee. I think it's coffee. It's meant to be like a cup of coffee.
I think so, yeah.
But apparently we have a coffee set up, amongst other things. O's and R's we
like
two and two together, but everybody's been super generous and lovely, and we just want to say thank you very much for however you're supporting us and however you're just watching, or if you're getting more involved in the community. We have a Reddit, we have a Twitter, we have Instagram, we have all sorts of ways that you can get involved, and we'd love to see more of you. So that's great. We're at 99 followers, really fantastic to see. So, yes, indeed. And at 100 followers, something remarkable is going to happen, which is still to be unveiled. On that note, however, a quick word of thanks to ABC, a better consultancy. Who's doing the magic today?
The word of thanks will come from Edward today.
You need simple, honest, and straightforward technology advice to help you scale and grow your business. If you're based in Asia or looking to expand your business here, then get hold of A Better Consultancy at www.abetterconsultancy.co.
Hey. Fantastic. Thanks, Ed. And so, any more announcements? Any last things? Any shows or anything coming up in the next week or so?
No.
No, well,
It is a dark year for Singapore theatre. I am up to that, yes. So yay, hi Grim! Yes,
You made it!
ABC's amazing!
oh, thanks.
Alright.
Well, thanks everybody, and then let's all return to the faraway world of Urtu and the port city of Tarima, where we find our gang, as always, perhaps one step behind or ahead of the next disaster. Right.
Such faith.
Yeah.
Who's doing the player recap?
Me.
Boy,
Okay.
yes.
So, where we last left off, we left the ship, said goodbye to our sailor friends, and entered the city of Tarima, which was not as lawful, I guess, would be the word that I would like to use. As I not that I imagine, but yeah, as say Singapore. Huh. So it's a very strange city, like very bustling, lots of people there for trade. The guards took a bribe, or rather, kind of con us out of money by saying, "Oh, you need a special stamp," and we're like, "Oh no, we don't have the special stamp. What do we do?" "Oh, you just need to pay me right now and I can give it to you." And turns out that stamp was an X on the paper. So that's the kind of authority figure you're working with here. Anyway, we enter Terima. There's this massive, the local parlance would be Pasar Malam. It's like this massive market, lots of tents, lots of food, people selling all kinds of stuff. We decided to detour around it, but not before Yrsa got herself in a little bit of trouble trying to just buy an article of clothing and almost getting conned as well from the seller. Anyway, moving on, we finally find our person that we were meant to meet, which was Yafir Tamar.
Yes.
Yes, at the Garrula's gear. Turns out that this Taramir place can be a little bit racist as well. They seem to like purposely target people who are of not human origin to you know put them one side for additional questioning during the custom entry. Anyway, yeah. So we met our new employer. They set us up with like a room, I guess, in like the barn area sort of thing, and then sort of gave us instructions that we were to leave the next day at 6 a.m. So last we left off, we were thinking of whether we should get mounts or not. But then Yrsa dinged level 6, which gives her the spirit of the ilk. So we all walk very fast now. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
This is the official now canon way that Yrsa is going to
Channel the
invoke
spirit of the elk.
elk.
Yes, that's right. It's gonna be like a minute of me going like a special dance, you know.
And your speed in fact.
Sorry, that needs to be made a meme somehow. There's a GIF in this.
and the speed affects all your party members, so we all have to
do it. Only in the beginning. It's not like the entire journey have to do this. Otherwise that would be
Romantic if we have to fight.
yeah. It's true. It's true. Sorry. That's
Right. So, thank you for that. Any other recollections that you have?
Well, Barra made a deal with someone.
Yes, in the previous episode, Barra made a deal with somebody to save his previous shipmates who have now like essentially fucked off and left him to go and complete the mission by their own on their own. Yes, and I think is as you will see, I think he is partly struggling with the consequences which will emerge in this upcoming episode.
Well,
Yes.
so, where we left off, exactly as to your recollections, you had just met with the Major Domo of
Yrsa.
indeed.
Oh yeah.
Said Ericsson.
Ericsson.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Ericsson.
I know.
Oh.
The jokes. Quite so.
Right.
So, and you are now at liberty for it's late afternoon, early evening, so it's still about 4 or 5 o'clock at sort of this time.
Right.
So you have a good 12, 14 hours, give or take, between now and when you have to be ready out front of the Garrula's gear, where you will then meet with Yafir Tamar, Ericsson, and I'm going to love saying that, and whomever else is part of your caravan. What would you like to do with your time?
Kaman's probably gonna just keep his head down and say, I think they don't like the non-human looking sorts here, so I'll just keep my head down.
Oh yeah.
It's okay. He did a very good job on you. You look
Yeah. The makeup's perfect, bro.
very human.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Handsome, aren't you?
Very sexual. Very, very good.
Just to be safe, I think I'll just wait here.
Oh, I was thinking maybe we should go get more in time. Because that Ellen lady didn't really leave us with very much, and that these guys are supposed to be like a foreigners, right? So maybe we should go to them and get more in time, or maybe we should go and join him in his room and have a drink with him. What do you say? Come on,
Did he say
man.
we were supposed to have a drink with him?
No.
No.
I think he said that we were supposed to have a drink here.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Yeah, employee
not-
perks.
Let's
Yeah.
just stay here.
I don't know.
guess.
I kind of want to like do the tourist thing before we head off. I mean, we're only here for like one night.
Yeah, but I don't want to blow my cover.
No, you just don't shower. Oh, you'll be fine. Just don't wash up the makeup. It's alright. It's like pants.
I just need to warn you. Just now when I went to buy this outfit, the lady was very, how you say, she was a bitch. You know what she do? She tried to charge me so much more, for this stupid outfit. And then she kept trying to bargain with me. I hate that kind of behavior. No? Hey, what is wrong with just having a price there and letting people pay that price? This kind of people disgust me.
All right. Great leader.
Mm-mm.
I think, maybe I should go have a word with her.
Huh?
I'm really good with the ladies.
I'm not sure she's your type.
No, I don't know. I just, guys, I just want to, I just think I've experienced a bit of sun damage. Do I look a bit different to you guys? I just noticed that you've got a bit of like, I don't know. Like my mum warned me about this, and I just think, I got a little bit of lines here. I don't know. Like, am I still attractive to you guys? You think?
Oh, you're still very hot. Don't
Oh,
worry.
yeah. Okay.
The six-pack is still there.
A bit magnified, actually.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, you're the best. Oh, I'm promoting you. Oh, no. You're still my favorite party member. All right, but you're coming really close.
The biceps still strong.
Oh, yeah, thanks. All right, I just think, I just want to go and check it out. Come on, we should have a night in the town. This, like, big town like this. Oh, my God, like, the first time in my life I've seen such a town like this. It's crazy. Come on, guys, come on. There's a drink or two. We head out.
We're on a mission.
No, yeah, we're still on a mission from tomorrow.
At 6 a.m. we have to leave here. What time is it now?
It's like
Look at the
mid-afternoon.
Like four-ish, five-ish.
Okay. We
This
have
time.
curfew. 10 o'clock, come back.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
But let's try and go together because I feel like this place will eat you alive.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, okay, come on, let's have a few drinks. Yeah?
I want to try the meat skewer thing. Look very tasty.
So within the Seven Hawks district, there is still the Garrulous Gear, the very fine tavern you've been at. There's also this very large sort of series of tented merchant stalls that are, maybe as much as 200 meters, 100 meters or so square in area. And finally, there is a option of exiting the Seven Halls, sort of like the walled city, and going into the broader city of Tarima. What would you like to do? The night or the afternoon is not even over.
I'm gonna wake up with face tattoos and
We-
monkey.
If I can weave Mike Tyson into this adventure, I shall.
Perception check for hot chicks.
Oh no.
You're currently in the common room.
All right.
So,
Oh, sure.
have a go anyway.
We have a new follower.
Oh, yeah.
Nice follower.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Whose name is blocked by the chat bar.
So I dreamy spells. Dreamy spells. Thank you, dreamy spells. I thought you genuinely meant the name was blocked by the chat bar. And at the moment, I'm like, blocked by the chat bar! Hooray! So
Okay,
It's a
let's
great
see.
username.
My perception is 14 for hot chicks.
it is mid to late afternoon. Nobody has yet finished with their day's labour
All right.
to come back to this common room. It's pretty much you guys that are there. There's
Oh, I don't see anyone.
There's a couple of.
There's nobody hot here. Sorry guys, did I say that out loud?
Did you want a mirror?
If we get to 10 subs,
Yeah, you're not wrong.
how many subs have we got right now, Cheryl? Right, if we get to 10 subs today, Mike Tyson will appear in this adventure.
Oh.
That being said, sorry.
Nice.
Yeah, there's not really that
I'm
many
sorry.
folks here. There's a couple of folks who are having a sleep during the day, but or sort of maybe they're
So
working
checking
later in the
the
evening.
Okay.
Let's have a look. To Barra's eyes, these are not to Barra's liking. Not so much that they are unattractive, just
Right.
not meeting Barra's exceptional
Right,
standards.
guys, there's nobody fighting my standard. You guys want to give it a go? I don't know, I'm like, come on, it's been a long time, eh? I'm guessing it's been a really long time for you.
The only meat I want is a meat skewer.
Oh, yeah, let's go downstairs. Woo! Right, come on.
Yes, let's go to a
Alright.
completely shady mystery meat place and have some meat on a stick.
Yeah, all right. So you
Nothing about that should disappoint you. The idea of going to mystery meat place to have meat on a stick is last.
I have had mystery meat on a stick on a street corner and survived it. So
Many,
yeah,
many
there we
times.
go.
it is shady as.
Yeah.
Right.
Yrsa can survive, Sheena cannot. Sheena will lao sai for the night.
Oh no.
Complete
Oh
constitution.
no.
So hey,
Hey.
Kiei, you're still pretending to be my daughter?
Yes.
Oh god, she's gonna be like, you're not gonna get into the best places with like a girl coming
Ah,
along.
Don't
It's only
forget
a
your
girl.
accent.
Oh shit, yeah. Maybe we pretend that you're a really small, sort of like a, oh shit. Oh, no, can you just not, like, when we go to the cool places, can you not pretend to be my daughter? I'm not. I mean, you guys don't think, like, I'm old enough to be, like, somebody's father. Do you guys? I mean, like, no.
I mean, unless you are really irresponsible, like a really long time.
No, I would have to be, like 5.
Yeah,
Like,
that's pushing it.
Oh, yeah, because I look really young still, right? I mean, whatever might have happened, I still look good and young and like a sexy hot guy.
Maths is not my strong suit. I will take your
Old
word for it.
people are good looking too.
So you think I look old?
No, just
Like,
that's something to look forward to. You can age like wine.
Now, right? Like in like 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years. Yeah.
You know what? We need to drink. Let's go. Come on.
Do we get montage now? Of us carousing?
We absolutely can. You have a choice. We can either you can either go for the, let's call it the safety montage option and roll a few dice and see what happens, or you can go and try and get yourselves into some actual trouble. I'm open to either option here.
Safety montage.
Alright, fire.
I mean, it's a vote.
So that's one vote for safety montage. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Do we get to make rolls during the same
Oh yes.
Okay,
Oh
yeah.
yes.
Just roll. Yeah.
Rather than roleplay.
Okay. So
Okay.
if we're going for safety montage, then I will get each of you, please, to roll a d12.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Yay! Barbarian die.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
5.
feel like you, my math
5.
is really good. So a D12 would be this one. Okay.
12.
Hey.
6.
So no, you
So we have 2, 5, 6,
Casey
12.
asked whether viewers get to vote.
No.
Yes, you do.
Damn it.
I'm going to count to 5.
This is Singapore.
I'm going to count
Why do
to
you
5.
think you're gonna vote now?
And in the chat, you
Such
can
danger.
just simply write either the word neutral, bad, or good.
Oh, this is what GRC do live in.
So 1,
Vote.
2, 3, 4,
Good. Come on, guys.
5.
Good.
And then we'll wait for the stream delay.
You're sleeping on the couch.
Hey.
See, Grim?
See, our producers have weighed in. The gods have spoken. So, by rolling your dice and my arbitrary d12 table, which we came through last time, you actually rolled 1 terrible result, 2 neutral results, and 1 good result. So, you were just going to have a mildly bad time. Now promoted to a very bad time.
Why Thermometer? Why Frobisher? Why Casey? Why?
After wandering around through the parts of
Making constant perception checks for hot chicks.
indeed.
Barra is on the rebound.
Well, it's funny that as you're making you're wandering past through the each of the sort of like the 7 great halls, right? And you sort of realize that each of these is in some ways some sort of adventuring company, right? I mean, it's originally a long time ago an adventuring company that has now established some more formal and correct and proper routes, right? So, now looking to be corporations or, otherwise distinguished bodies of merchant ealdormen and all the rest of it. But ultimately, like any good sort of like original company, pirates of some sort or another, right? So, as you are wandering past these 7 great halls, you begin to find that there are lots of little bars, lots of little, drinking areas that are frequented by just different groups. Often 1 or 2 crews will go and basically have their own bar. So it turns out, in the course of this, that you do find what appears to be an empty bar. And before you sit down, and there's
That's
like
good, because if there was a bar fight, Yrsa would destroy the
well, it's funny you mentioned.
Ah, shit.
She punched the guy and then
I think thanks to our viewers, I have a total of an additional 7 If not 8 demigods right now.
As long as you're keeping track, because we're going to see what happens. Now,
Oh, no.
The building's coming down.
so, imagine that you have gone. So these great halls themselves are buildings that probably started as some sort of relatively modest longhouse almost, right? So like that had been up back when this wasn't a big city, and they've tried to keep some of that sort of design aesthetic, despite the fact these are now very well built stone brick buildings, right? So they're very heavy and highly ornate buildings, right? But
Yeah, but sure.
but you've sort of you see them, and there are these sort of almost brick stilts they're built on, and then there's a large kind of like suspended platform that then leads up into this vaulted arch that runs all the way back, and there are many of these are like them. So interestingly, underneath these sort of false floors,
Barra readies an action. When Barra gets drunk, Barra will punch the wall.
well, we're going to come to this. So underneath these halls have been actually dug out into actually a very, because there's so much food in the market, these are actually more like gaming areas because they're away from the sun. They are like people sit there, they're playing sort of dragon chess, or they're playing other games of Ubo, or otherwise like poker or cards or other things like that. There's always some variance because sailors are from everywhere of games that are being played, new games are being learned, and almost all of them gamble. Right? I mean, obviously they don't gamble because no one gambles, but actually practically every single person is gambling to some extent at one of these tables. And there's a huge range of people in these areas. And so you pass by the one that's kind of boring, and you pass by the one where a bunch of people are playing music and clapping hands and like clearly having a great time, but there's no alcohol, there's no gambling here. It's all a bit too family friendly. And you make your way to under the eaves, which are what they call this place, or certainly under the in the subterranean vaults, or whatever we want to call them, of the fourth hall, the hall of
So if I punch it and it collapses, I'll be breaking the fourth hall.
I think I just did that to myself. Yes. So the fourth hall, which has a name. It is the gustatory
What?
and parsimonious order of grand cuisiniers.
Sorry, the gustatory and what?
Parsimonious order of grand cuisiniers. I'll have to spell that for you later.
Did we just end up in pretentious land?
Yeah.
Gustatory.
It did lay. and so upstairs is all very sort of like there are various different icons of grapes and of fruit and of wheat and various other things, right? Whereas downstairs underneath here, there is just a strong smell as you kind of like almost peer through this pungent smoke, and that smell is intoxicating. Right? It is spicy and aromatic, and definitely not from cooking food. Right?
Wait, what? Not from cooking food.
No. This is a different kind of smoke haze and smell altogether.
Oh, yeah.
And as you head down, you see many of these sort of games are being played, and even further to the back, underneath, as it gets even darker, underneath the shadows of the grand hall of the parsimonious and gustatory brotherhood or whatever it was.
Grand cuisiniers.
The cuisiniers, thank you. You see that there are sleeping mats rolled out where a huge number of people are happily in a world of their own.
This looks like
Oh.
an opium den. Should we really be here?
Wait, is opium in this one?
I mean,
Do we recognize?
there's something like it everywhere. Do you recognize it? I don't know. Make a naivety check. Let's go with charisma. It's going to be a charisma check.
Oh no.
我是咪報唔知 I rolled a 4. I have no idea.
You innocent
I mean, you're familiar with tobacco. You're familiar with opium. I mean, you're a sergeant in the army, right? But you've not indulged. You're very familiar, Barra. We're just going to give you this one. I don't mind if you guys want to roll.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I probably know what it is. It's a 19.
Jesus. Shisha hall.
Charisma.
Yeah, that ain't.
I rolled a 20.
fragrant stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's great.
you're familiar from the monastery of the fact that actually quite often there are strong herbs and various plants that are used to bring out a state of spiritual awareness that allows you to really focus in on refining and, pushing your chi to the next levels of concentration and strength and power, right? And you're familiar with these scents and smells very intimately, weirdly enough, because so much of your growing up has been about that part of purity. However, you've also been taught that it's cheating. Right, a lot of it is okay, cool. To take that shortcut is a random burst of power, but that doesn't actually give you control. And so you're fully aware of what it is. As to whether or not Kie's then learnt other things about that, then I'll leave that to you. But certainly with that 20, you've got a lot of choices.
She takes out her own bong.
Yeah.
I bring it here with me.
Want to get high?
Run from my sorrow.
Let's get the life.
Hey, come on, it's saying, should we really be here?
Oh, come on. Don't feel naive. It's not like I don't have these on ships.
No, but, we want to be in peak condition.
Right, let's go.
In the morning.
Don't be such a small boy. Who's a small boy? Don't you want to be cool? Don't you want to be cool? Don't you want to be cool? Come on, man. The chicken.
Do I recognize specifically what smell this is?
As you'll know what farm it came from?
What?
You'll know what farm it came from? Or is this a...
these types of bits.
North Bank, South Bank, which terroir?
If that helps.
Well, this is a rather dry little number. Notes of leather. Bit of,
This is pretentious land.
No, nothing like that at all. I mean, it's more like when you go to somewhere and they have a huge outdoor market or mall, and you just walk through a gust of smoke, and you go, "Oh wow, okay, that smells strong and spicy," and you go, "Oh yes, I think I caught a blast of whatever you think that thing is," and then you've walked on. In this case, it's more that they swirl around, and so yes, there's clearly some smell of hashish there. There's clearly some smell of opiates there. There's also smells of other herbs that are around, right? Many of which you're going to be aware of, but you're not going to know what they are unless are you proficient in medicine?
No.
No, then you're not going to know what they are. You may well have come across some of the smells in the various examples and things you've done.
So Barra has dragged Kaman to Yrsa.
The bed
Yrsa. So, we call this shore leave. And whenever we've got shore leave, we get absolutely shit-faced, right, when we were sailors. Don't you think that Kaman's been way too uptight for way too long? And come on, Gia, about these, special herbs, right? He's got amnesia. Maybe this could help him remember something. What do you think? He doesn't remember anything from, I just started, 2.5 years ago?
Well, yes.
Yeah, well, come on, guys. What do you think? What do you think, great leader? What do you think, Gia?
Do you think we can recover by 6?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem.
Actually, no. We need to recover by 5:30.
Yeah, I'm really experienced, yeah.
I guess it depends on what you take and how much you take it. But you have to be very careful.
Yeah, Kia knows what she's talking about. She knows what the good shit is. Come on, let's go.
I mean, technically, I'm not your leader now because Kaman is.
So he can choose.
That is true.
Fine. So, what would you recommend?
Actually, let's go with Kie's lead on the recommendation.
What would you recommend, Kie?
Since she's very familiar with this thing.
Alright, yeah.
I am sitting up because, sometimes when I get angry, I get very strong. I don't want to accidentally punch somebody. So, yeah.
Alright, let's go.
I think that's a good choice.
No, come on, let's go. Come on.
So the smallest one leads the group.
Yeah.
So there are many actual bars here as well, right? So as well as the fact there are clearly shisha, these are bars that serve drinks, and as well as that, there are small sort of young, it would appear, boys and girls that are running around sort of in these bars, refilling, pipes that people smoke from, large chillums with sort of ropes, rope-like hookah that come off them, that people are all just partaking as they play their games together, right? You are looking around for somewhere that is sort of free. I mean, there are probably 30 or 40 tables. It's a big space, right? So, are you going to make are you looking for something particular, a particular game, a particular type of bar?
A particular what, sir?
A particular game or a particular type of bar?
I heard something.
Are you just rocking with the spirits? I mean, this is like that evening of like, oh gosh, where do you want to go for dinner, right?
Yeah.
But, it's within.
Grim says, let's look for craps table.
No, I want to get drunk first.
It's definitely people playing dice.
It's definitely what?
People playing
playing
dice.
Do they serve beverages and other smoky wonders?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to not.
So you want to choose depending on the game or on the...
No, you decide.
Yeah, but maybe a dicing place
dicing?
with appropriate beverages.
Okay, so I look for a bar
Fragrances.
that is not empty, but a lot less crowded.
Yeah, because you don't want to go somewhere that's empty, because that would be terrible, right? Because then no one's there, why not, right? But if it's too busy, then you don't want to queue, right? No, I know that.
Yeah.
So universal
balance.
themes. Now, make a perception roll for me, please. Investigation roll.
Investigation.
Come on, you can do
Oh,
this.
nice.
16.
Ooh.
16. Without any hassle at all, you sort of wander through the crowd, and it is immediately overwhelming because there are so many people here, but you're just used to these large crowds. You're a halfling, you just nip through spaces that everybody else doesn't see, and as you're doing so, you just kind of like every now and then just throw your arms out wide so your party just follows through in your wake, like,
That's so
just coming through, sort of taking up 2 or 3 times the space.
Wow, Kier, you're really comfortable in urban settings.
Oh, yes.
How the shit do you move so fast?
You're small, you can too.
I can't. They just in the way. Like if I try to do what you did, I'll
Use
get
your
caught in my
authority.
face. It's terrible.
Your authority in small speed.
I tried my authority. No, it's not working.
Just follow behind me then.
Nobody is respecting your authority.
Respect my.
No.
Don't get angry too soon. Don't.
So very
Holding it in.
very quickly, 2-3 minutes later, you see a square area, maybe 5 meters or so on each side. It's been demarcated with some crates and some various sort of storage crate type materials. So those packing crates, they're sort of chunks of balsa wood on each other in a kind of grid. And so there's a whole bunch of those that have demarcated an area out where there's clearly some people playing dice, and every now and then, in that group of 10 or 15 people who are rounded around the dice pit, floor. They every now and then someone goes, "Way!" and then they hear that there's an exchange of money, a clapping of hands, and the occasional somebody that's like swearing and cursing and kicks their feet and walks off, right? And as you get closer, there's you get towards this area. There's some wooden stools around a long bench, and then the bench carries on in a sort of large square. The center of that square is a
Pull up your honor. No.
there's a slug there is a half orc man who is quite tall and thin and is has quite sharp sort of like aware eyes, not at all roomy, so clearly not partaking, and rather would seem a bit immune to the smoke haze that is already starting to make you feel a little bit free.
Relaxed.
I would say, right? You find yourself, your imaginations are more at the spiritual end of matters right now. Now, that being said, as you come up to the bar, the man looks over and says, welcome to Catharas. What can I get you to drink?
What's your strongest poison? I mean, water is your strongest poison. Because we are tourists in this town, and this is not my daughter. She's of legal age to drink.
I'm a teen.
She's
Of age.
she look young, just like me. I also look very young, handsome young man.
Your daughter?
No, she is not my. Perhaps you don't understand.
No, I wouldn't have thought she daughter. I thought she'd be a halfling.
Many people think that, but
You are a halfling.
Mysterious.
I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you were. I just thought, I feel terrible. I thought you were a halfling.
You are very prejudiced. We want the next drink free.
No. But please satisfy my curiosity. You are a halfling.
I am in the midst of discovering my heritage, and I would like some more time to
You
decide what I would want to be.
what she identifies is her own problem.
Yes.
You know, ask so many questions. It's prejudice.
You're both right, and that's quite disturbing.
Yes, we want the next drink
We are
free.
very much
Or maybe we have a smoker for free.
Here's what I'll do for you. Because never let it be said that Kathra in any way gives a fuck about who his patients are beyond, like, from a superficial perspective.
It is true.
Clearly,
Can't
you've
be
caught me on a
attractive.
funny day here, so I will buy you a drink to say welcome if you commit to buy me a drink and yourselves a drink for the next round.
Who is speaking? Is it a hot
Monk
chick?
reflexes. As the stage almost falls on there.
Is this person a hot chick?
This person is a
Male.
This person is a very attractive, tall half-orc male.
Oh,
So I would say, you know, a bit more. Well, actually, now that the Barra is a fully grown adult, sort of like of similar stature.
you look good, bro. You are not my type. I just want to put it out there. But if any hot chicks come into the bar, please let me know.
Make a completely improper perception check.
What's an improper perception?
22, 22, yeah.
Yeah, you objectify everybody in this bar,
Oh, you
and
are
you can categorize and scale as you see fit.
okay.
There are, I would say, 30 or 40 patrons here. Yeah, enjoy, take your picture.
Not Barra's a bell curve.
Okay.
Across.
In the meanwhile, Kathra sort of like puts a handful of shot glasses in front of you, puts one in front of himself, reaches sort of under the bar and then goes, no, and then reaches back behind him to like the small kind of case behind him, on which is a little sort of brass bell. And so he reaches out for a small bottle with a little blue liquid inside it and puts a little drop in each of your glasses, one in his, and then pours the sort of amber liquid, the amber sort of whiskey-like liquid into the shot glass. So there's a shot glass, and then actually what's crazy is there's little whiskey liquids there, and then there's a tiny little blue blob that's at the bottom. And Catherine looks at you and says, as I said, you've caught me on a day. Remarkable. So this is genuinely a welcome drink. And he takes it and he shots it back and he goes, welcome to Catherine's.
Right. That is a
And then
water.
he rings the bell behind him. Ding!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Good service. Goodbye.
I pick up the shot glass. What is this?
Better on the inside than out. That's what I say.
Okay.
Con 20, let's do this! Not nearly enough.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing it. Perfect. So as he rings the bell, right, you see that there's just a big hooray from the crowd, right? And literally about 40 people all just like look at you and go, welcome, hey, welcome to Catherine, it's fantastic, right? As like 5 or 6, again, small kids come by and then they start refilling everybody's hookah. And up to where you're currently stood, right? Sort of a small sort of like I would say 13, 14-year-old half-elf boy kind of comes up and says, I can show you to a table if you would like.
Okay.
Sure. That's a table.
Very
He literally points next to him and then goes, I'll have someone bring out a pipe for you guys.
What do you have?
Pipe smoke and more alcohol.
Yes.
We can do some food. We can do some food, but we'll have to send someone over to the market. I say someone's probably going to be me, but it'll be fine.
Meat skewer, please.
Meat skewers? Oh, I know exactly where to go. Okay.
I trust you.
Yeah, no problem. The meat skewers are a copper piece gets you 2. I mean, they're meat-like at a copper piece. If you want me to go somewhere where you know they're going to be lamb or camel or horse or some form of actual meat, it'll probably be a silver piece for a good 5 or so. Still a great price, but it's the difference between...
It is on me, or rather, it is on Kaman. Sandy, because he is the boss today. Oh, Sandy!
Yeah, boss!
Yeah, boss, you buy the meat skewer.
We'll have 10.
10
Thank
meat
you.
skewer, thank you.
Actual meat.
10 actual meats.
Okay, so,
Oh, shit.
so 2 silver pieces?
Yes, from Sandy.
Fish up 2 silver pieces.
Right, let's go.
So much peer pressure.
And what he does is he walks over and he puts the 2 silver pieces on the bar and sort of mentions something to Kathra and then nods and then kind of runs off. Right. In the meanwhile, someone else comes past your table and puts down a beautiful brass sort of chiller. It's huge, and they can see there's some sort of water inside as they pour more in, and then there's sort of this large kind of smoking censer at the top of which would go in some sort of, herb of some sort, and you will have a pipe available to you. The night is ahead of you. I think it's a great opportunity for wisdom saving throws with disadvantage, please.
No. Yay, wisdom, my favorite stat.
Woo! Wisdom is 11.
15.
15.
5.
16.
Okay,
Oh,
so
5.
5 o'clock the next morning.
shit.
5 o'clock the next morning.
That's fast.
As you
That's what she said.
wake up,
Huh?
Oh, shit. What happened last night?
successfully back in the sleeping quarters
Yeah, alright, he's not so
with 1 level of exhaustion after having
Choy.
slept,
Yeah.
or not, right? You look around for your friends,
Oh,
and you see one of Kaman's boots, but no Kaman.
Right.
You don't see Kie.
I know.
You do see Yrsa, who is sort of slept. Well, basically, imagine she's taken one table, put another table on top of that table, and is now sleeping underneath the first table, on top of the second.
It's a bank.
You kind of create a little fort, like when you were a kid. And the thing, you create a little fort, and you pile the chairs around it. Right, that's great. But yeah, you can't see Kie, and you can't see Kaman, though one of his boots is
Shit, there must be a mirror here.
very much asleep. You're going to take the exhaustion. Sorry, you rolled 11. You're going to have a point of exhaustion as well.
Okay.
But you rolled a
15.
15 and a 16. So you two won't have exhaustion. You're just sort of a bit
It's gone.
dazed and confused and no real recollection of the evening. As you sort of come to consciousness, Yrsa, you find yourself kind of like, yeah, you're sort of you're broken a little bit. You notice that your knuckles have a certain amount of scraping on them.
Oh, shit.
I'm not going to make anyone use their magical things, but Kie, you wake, and it is just the beginning of dawn, and the sound of a cockerel in the market square, sort of relatively nearby you, wakes you up. To which point you're like, relatively nearby me? How is that possible? As you look down on the market square from a high height, as you have climbed your way up the top of the 4th hall, and you're sat right at the top on the apex where you went to sleep. There's one of those footsore monks sleep quite happily on the top of the great hall. Wow. Kaman, you also went to sleep, but you felt the need for some sort of water or otherwise, so you kind of pitched yourself half asleep in the water trough in the stables just outside. So as you come to, you're like, Oh, nice. I'm underwater. This is very pleasant. Your gills are breathing. Everything is good.
And something smells.
Yeah.
Oh, is that tongue? Oh, that's... Oh.
Indeed. So you without too much incident, suddenly the three of you collect yourselves again.
Which three are you referring to?
Oh, 1, 2, 3. Pardon me, Joe, Ed,
okay.
and Sheena. Lisa, Kiz, well, you're fine. You're also 60-ish, maybe, feet off the ground, on the top of a rather fancy building. You've got no idea how you got up there.
Do I know where I... Oh, yeah, I know where I am, the fourth hall. So I know the way back.
I mean, the entire market square is laid out in front of you. You can see roughly where you think the garrulous gear is. Like there's not very many hawkers or vendors at the 5 a.m. There are starting to be some. You can see some people getting there, ready to cook for the day and start the long day of work ahead of them.
Okay.
So if you jump off, it's 66 damage.
Yeah, but
No, but I have slope.
Yeah.
Minus 25.
Minus 25. So how do you feel about your odds?
Can I try to find a safer way down? Like maybe down a few roofs or like climb down
Yeah,
instead of just...
make a perception roll for me. We're
Parkour.
gonna go with disadvantage because of the smoke from last night.
Parkour.
And how aware am I? Like, am I a bit hung? Oh, crap.
You're very hungover,
Oh, shit.
especially with that dice roll, I imagine.
7.
7.
Parkour. Bottle is to fall down.
Oh, is it?
Parkour is to, you know?
But it's parkour versus bottle.
Yeah.
Bottle.
Then you bottle.
No, I haven't moved yet. It was just perception.
Indeed. So I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage, though.
Oh. Yeah.
13.
Okay. It's not going to be critical, so your monkness will probably just mean you get wind in and then stand back up again.
Monkness.
But,
She's like,
you take 20 points of damage, which in fact is 0
Nothing.
points of damage. As you slip off this tall roof, you have this moment where you stand up and you look around and go, "Oh, this is amazing! Wow, I see everything and I know where everything is." Right? Yeah, so it's 66 damage. So that would be 66 damage indeed. So as you then you then sort of take a moment and you're like, right, I think I know where to go. I think if I go this way, and you sort of step into nothing, and then you think, aha, that's okay, I've got all the dexterity in the world, and you think you're going to do a cartwheel and catch yourself, and your arm reaches out for the cartwheel as you basically miss, and you're like,
That sounds horrible.
that usually works. And you have that moment of just like, just total freedom. You know when you're like flying or falling or otherwise, and you have that just brief moment of freedom. You have that moment of freedom until all of your monk training, despite your lack of awareness, kicks in, and you look around and you reach your hand out and you begin to slow yourself down against the wall, occasionally punching it and doing things, looking for an angle to kick yourself up, to parkour your way back, and you land with a
to the tune of Chumbawamba.
yeah, no.
and there is a small, rather like Wile E. Coyote, there is a small sort of like dust mark of where you've landed, and then you sort of pull yourself up. You're fine.
Just want to take a moment to thank our 100th follower. And to 70 XP for the 200 bits cheer.
Yay!
Thank you, Hans Mole Pigeon. And yes, indeed. Thank you very much, everybody. That's amazing.
He's just wanting me to kill somebody outright. What's going on?
It could be
Enough.
building at this point, Casey. She could do some serious remodeling.
Oh, yeah, man.
And as you begin to extract Yrsa from her cage and
Bunk.
look
Yrsa,
at
They
her,
put into a mirror again! Yes, I would need to find the mirror! I want to be trapped in the mirror, yes!
Splish, splosh, splish,
So loud.
splosh, splish.
So loud.
Alright, pull the cables off yourself. No, You're in the mirror. It's
No.
my fault.
You hear
God.
distant splish splosh.
Oh no!
Coming down the corridor.
What the hell's that? Ah!
Are we being attacked by
I'm ready in action.
a big monster?
I'm ready in action to cast.
We also hear a small, slightly
Oh
unsteady
shit!
beat.
It's an ambush. All right, guys. Look, I gotta protect you guys. Freaking shit! I accidentally closed my stats. No, here they are. All right. Let me just look at my spell. I'm sorry, I'm not very aware at this point. I'm
As
kind
we
of
say, the
drunk.
splishing, splashing,
I'm ready.
confusion. She rolls out like preparing for battle.
Okay, I'm ready in action to viciously mock whoever comes through the door.
Well, a moment later, coming through the door, obviously, is Kaman.
Ah, you mother's a piece of shit!
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
With disadvantage, please.
First thing in the morning.
It's an 18.
Oh.
25.
With disadvantage?
Yeah,
fantastic.
I rolled 20 and then 18.
What?
You slept in the troughs, right? Is your makeup still on?
Exactly.
Shit.
And Kaman looking at you dripping. And says, I don't know who my mother is.
Oh no!
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
And Kaman just walks by.
Oh, okay.
And he's gone full sad clown. Like, the face is just falling off.
Alright, yeah, come over here. Alright, yeah, okay. Lost key into a mirror, but
I don't
just get
know.
it mixed up. Alright.
No,
And a moment later,
Oh shit! Oh, there you are.
Fell a bit, but okay.
Oh yeah, okay.
She's like covered in dust.
Yeah, I'm just like grey.
Alright, well, I think we had a good night. Yeah. Alright,
do
yeah.
you remember anything?
Yeah, I remember like a bunch of girls told me I was really attractive. That was-
Oh,
Yeah, so Barra was
I don't
shouting
remember
about the hobgoblins. Barra wanting hobgoblins. You
Oh,
kept saying, I'm looking for a hobgoblin.
Oh yeah,
And we're just like, don't tell her.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
looking for all the hobgoblins.
yeah. I'm
And then the hobgoblin lady came over.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Oh, then what happened?
I'm not sure because she was very large.
none of you have any recollection of this at all.
I
Alright,
don't
yeah,
even remember eating the meat skewer.
you know,
That's the one thing I wanted to do.
let's get you fixed up.
Eat the meat skewer.
You have a actual collection of meat skewers that you've bound together with meat skewers. So you literally, while you were there, you know how sometimes you've done this, right? In your pocket or in your pouch, you've got like 14 meat skewers.
I actually done them, but I don't remember. This is the worst.
I'd just like to note that Barra's about to, because with exhaustion, you made ability checks with disadvantage, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I believe so, yes. But with one level, yes.
Yeah, so
But do
Barra's about to fix my makeup.
But do I have advantage from practicing the last time, which will cancel at disadvantage? I'll leave it to you.
I don't think you get advantage from it, and you are somewhat hampered right now.
Alright, yeah.
And you have an incredibly high level of proficiency and good deception, so you should still do all right.
Alright, yeah. Okay, don't worry, I'll fix you. Alright, you look
Why
beautiful.
are your hands shaking?
Beautiful. Oh no, don't worry, it's just
She's just kind of wiping
You
herself
sure you
down.
don't want to
With
wash
some
it?
more colour in her,
You just like to be smearing the.
Yeah. the dirt into like a bit of a paste.
Oh,
You can
Alright, not too bad. So
The one you just walked up.
one with
wait,
disadvantage.
this is deception plus the.
I don't want to
Except for plus
smell.
proficiency.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, alright. It's 24.
So it's deception, and
Oh.
so it's your deception, which is your charisma
Right.
modifier,
Oh, which means
and your proficiency bonus together. So it's not just sorry to be clear, it's not deception plus proficiency again.
Right.
It's your proficient with disguise kit, which means you can use your proficiency bonus,
Yeah.
and it's a deception skill that you can use.
So it's 11.
So it's +5 or whatever
Alright.
it is for that. So
15.
21.
21. It's 21. Yes.
could be
Alright.
different.
Drunk.
So
Oh, okay.
Best makeup
So
artist
how
in
have
the
you
world.
made Kaman look? Given that you are probably still coming down
Yeah.
from a long way up high.
I've given him a temporary face tattoo.
You've done it immaculately. You've done this perfectly. Though.
Beautiful. Hey, guy, now you look like hard. Nobody's gonna mess with you. No, it's like
What does the face tattoo say?
it says hard. But there you go.
Ah,
Nobody's gonna mess with you, bro.
yeah.
Nobody.
So it doesn't look like it's makeup. It looks like you've got a prison gang tattoo here.
I'd just like to note that is it still visible under the bandana when I put it on?
Yeah, a little.
So it's been done. The bandana is part of the disguise, right? So it's been done. So you have it looks like it's part of a much larger face tattoo. You've got neck swirls. You got the whole thing, right? You could be in a really, really nasty gang, right? And this one, it's just like it just says hard. They could just say, hard something else. The word could go. Who knows? It kind of disappears underneath. Yeah, exactly. Hard boiled.
I'm gonna erection later. We can walk together.
Oh boy. Hardly here. It's like give me the thing. But nevertheless, an immaculate disguise that looks entirely not like his normal self.
It's like you spent some time writing.
What do you think, right, lady? It looks good, yeah?
Well, I don't want to mess with you now.
I suppose that's a good thing.
I just want to see what it is. That's it? I thought there would
Did
be
you
more.
carry it along?
Yeah.
Is it like super cursive?
Hard hats are us.
It says hard hats required.
Hard hats.
For safety, I get it.
It's literally like one of those safety signs. Someone has you basically took your inspiration as you wrote it. Hard hat required, right? It's sort of like a You were lucky you didn't have to do a second line, otherwise it would be 322 days since now, that being said, so you take a moment. You definitely are suffering a chunk of exhaustion, Yrsa and Barra. The other two of you are just a little bit shaken, but okay, and holding it together, I would say. It's getting close to the time as more and more people are waking in this area, more people are waking on the street. You can see that the lamplighters have been out, and this is not a city where everything is mage light. There is a lot of light here that is done the old-fashioned way, so some form of tallow or tar, and then people have gone around and lit candles everywhere, right? So there are a lot of
Just realised I should have said like hard on.
I'm sure the opportunity will present itself. And so you estimate from the combination of your internal clocks and the various other things that it's sort of about 5:45, 6 o'clock, and that's then reconfirmed when you hear there is a small, again, sort of street urchin of some sort that walks out the front, sort of yelling, going, "Morning news! Morning news! Under the fourth hall, burglarized and vandalized. Huge fight breaks out. No unknown culprits found. Morning news! Morning news! Fourth hall vandalized. Huge fight breaks out."
I thought it was too easy.
Morning news! Morning news!
Do you think
As that wanders off down the street.
we were the fourth hall?
Come on.
I was at the top, so I'm not me.
I was. Hey, we've got 10 minutes, and maybe.
Yeah, let's not keep Yrsa waiting.
Yeah, that's he's a bit of a song. Well, we can get ready, and I was just going to sing a song at the same time. So just for a bit of inspiration for everyone.
We meet her up before she does this.
Tarima, we're now in a town called Tarima, and crap, I had the lyrics prepared, but I forgot. And but now we have to go. I'm feeling rather slow, you know. Tarima, now we've got to leave this town called Tarima. We can't be found because there are criminals around, and I think it's on. Tarima. Oh yeah, the range is still there. Oh big boy.
Bravo.
Oh yeah.
Bravo.
Alright, so you got a 9, 10
10.
temporary hit points
Is
there. It's 11
now.
Ellen,
Let's go. Alright, guys.
I know you used to sail the high seas, but that was a high sea.
You're funny.
Really, there's a vein that's starting to throb.
Oh, yeah, I know. I shouldn't have done that. Alright, let's go.
But you get your stuff together and you manage to navigate without too much difficulty round to the front of the Garrulous Gear, where you see a group of people has assembled. Interestingly, not too far from the Garrulous Gear is also the Grand Hall of the the gustatory and parsimonious cuisiniers, where another group of people seems to have gathered, trying to figure out how they're going to remove the paint that appears to have been daubed high up on the front of it.
What does it say?
Survey Team 3 for Life.
Yrsa sees that.
If I distract them, could you punch the wall?
Right.
Oh, it's a fair distance away. This is big letters. This is like, you know, in the Life of Brian, where you see Romanus, Extant Domus, and huge letters written on the wall by Brian. It's sort of that size of as a team, you would estimate just looking amongst each other, with like, what is that? Right? Because only you could have done this. It probably took you like 2 hours with ropes and sneakiness and all of your best skills maxed out to like do this, right? It is big.
You're so fucking proud of you.
It is a work of art right there.
Barra's like, oh yeah, it's pretty good.
Come on, guys. It is
And cut your face.
Can you just refuse this?
Like that.
Yeah, you did notice your kit was a bit lower on paint. So as you get a bit closer, you do see, however, there is the large form of Yafir Tamar, who is now stood at the front of the Garrulous Gear, dressed rather differently to the way he was yesterday. Yesterday was all beautiful silks and sort of bits of fine wool and various other furs, and he is now dressed in far more practical travelling clothes. And with him is the Majordomo Eric Shun, who is there again, sort of perfectly shaved bald head with the sort of crown of horns, as it were, coming around. Along is also a group of, I want to say there's a group of 8 or so robed travellers. 1, 2, 3 or so, maybe 4 sort of adults, a couple of elderly folk, 1 child, 1 teenager. So it's a varied group. Mostly half orcs. There's a halfling there. There's another dwarf that's there. There is a couple of humans and a half elf. It's a very kind of middle of the bell curve mix of people. Right, you can't see too much more in terms of details about them, but very quickly you see that Yafir says, hello, my friends, good morning to you, and thank you for being on time. This is fantastic.
Zhou-san, we are reporting for duty.
Ah, good. Well, we will be going to meet with our caravan, pick up, and begin the duties for the day. Hopefully you are feeling rested and are looking forward to the journey ahead.
Yes, we are totally professional.
Well, yes. Why would you not be? Seems oblivious. The Major Demo, on the other hand, looks at you, and there is the beady eye of someone that just knows something, but doesn't know what, and just sort of looks across you and goes, yes, we will be setting quite the pace this morning to get ourselves out of Tarima. I hope you are feeling well enough to keep up.
No problem. You can count on us.
And Tamar says, of course, it would be improper of me to not mention that these folks here will be joining us in the caravan. They are my passengers as we are traveling. Some of them will be going to Dawn's Edge, and others will be continuing with us all the way to Twilight's End. Please consider them to be as part of the caravan as I am, or as their goods are, and they will require your protection, and that is about it. Beyond that, please continue about your behavior.
Okay.
So, you form up, maybe?
Yeah, we do my
Yeah,
ritual
we-
first before we go.
Yes.
Actually, it's not the ritual. There is no ritual. It's just a thing.
Do we warm up? Do we?
But please allow me to lead my group in the warm-up exercises. Okay, people. Stretch. Put the acorns on your head and do the dance. Okay. The spirit of the elk will now possess you, and we will move faster. I'm so tired.
Are you sure, Master Tamar, that these are actually guards? They seem like clowns.
In the background.
No, I am certain they are guards, my friend. Do not worry, Eric. We will have plain sailing. See, these people are clearly professionals. You must join them. We will all bring us great speed with this ritual.
Yeah, actually, it helps up to 10 companions when they're within 60 feet of me.
Okay.
So I can do it for 7 more people.
Okay. So, including yourself, that 10 doesn't matter. We'll work it out.
No,
But,
it's additional.
oh, well then, yes.
Oh wow.
Up to 10
Your
companions.
fear says that as you start walking towards the stables and various other areas, you're quite familiar with the stables. As you start walking to the stables, another area, that there will be actually another 4 guards that will be traveling with you, as well as there's going to be a few scouts who'll be riding ahead of you guys, just to, like, he's got a lot of valuables. He is one of the major sort of merchant caravans that passes through, so he will be very he's well protected, right? So between you and the other guards, there are 8 guards in total, and then there are 4 scouts.
Sure.
Right? He introduces you to the other guards. We can sort of deal with that a little bit later, but you kind of get to the point where you now are in the sort of the caravanserai, like the large area where all of the caravans are, and you see that Yafir has 6 large, sort of good-sized covered wagons. Right, these are not small. You could go reclaim the West of America with these. Right, they're sort of, you could put easily sit between 6 to 8 people in them, plus, goods and various other things. And they're also designed to then fold out, provide some sort of shelter in the evenings, right? So these are proper long-haul wagons, right? By the estimates that you took earlier, it will take you about 10 days to get to Twilight's End.
Mm-hmm.
And that's at full speed. Now, out of being a quick look and realizing that there are going to be, 6 wagons, you think it might take a little longer than that. It is not these things are not going to go that fast.
Okay.
So you have to make your own judgments somewhere along the way. But practically speaking, you get underway without too much of a deal, and you can see that both the combination of Eric and Yafir himself, plus he's got a couple of helpers that are there. There is actually a very rare thing. There is one of them is a gnome, and appears to be sort of like quite happily sort of running around in simple leather armor, maybe simple leather armor, or looks like simple leather armor anyway, so like very sort of like form-fitting, body-fitting, kind of like running around doing things. And between sort of the 4 of them, they managed to get the 4 of the main carts underway and ready to go, the wagons, and 2 of them are for the both being occupied by and driven by the other 8 people who are part of this wagon, or the wagon trail, right? The guards are helping them get ready, and Thamar says, "Let us get this show on the road. Yeah!"
Yeah.
And as he says Yaha, you sort of see Eric kind of like drop his hand, and the wagons will begin to move and start heading out of the major thoroughfare out of the Seven Halls area, not the one you came in, which is the pedestrians entrance. This is the merchants sort of entrance and exit, and there is no stopping. Though you do see at one point clearly anybody with a passive perception of, I would say, 14 and above will see that there is a point where Erickson sort of reaches across to a guard and very simply just drops a small pouch that sort of jingles. And you're not stopped as you exit the main area, and then you exit into the rest of Tarima. And as you exit into the rest of Tarima, some time passes as you pass through the streets. It's still very early in the morning. You see the lamplighters are just finishing, but you are making, well, quite the pace. In fact, as you are running alongside, you're able to more than adequately keep up with these wagons, right? To the point where you can kind of be where you choose. There are 4 of you, and there are 6 wagons, and they are heading in a straight line. Are you going to all cluster at the front, at the back? How are you going to be?
I am choosing to be in the middle so that I can give my benefit to the other guards who are probably on foot as well.
Okay, fair enough. So you're sort of in the middle of the pack of 6. Is there an radius around it?
Yeah, 60 feet, I believe.
Yeah, that should probably.
Grim has cheered us for
Thanks, Grim.
Yay!
our cross-country run.
Oh, it is like the guards running with the car.
The North Korean.
I was
limousine.
just stopping short of that. Yes, indeed.
60 feet of me, and then so
Plenty. So yeah, you can position yourself to certainly give that aura to most folks, right? Yes, you're going to have to do the rest of the stream. Along that, as you carry on, where's everyone else going to be?
Barra is gonna look out for the guests of Yafir. Barra is minded to charm them and try to sleep in the caravan.
I'll
Okay.
sleep with them?
In the caravan, in the run, so I can take a long rest.
Right.
You know,
So Barra sneaked onto one of the
I'm
wagons.
just gonna check out which caravan they're in, and then I'll be like, "Hello."
So they are.
Charm his way into.
They are actually in the middle 2 caravans. So
Okay.
you'll be on the other side as Yrsa, right? So
Okay.
it is, just for the sake of arbitrary numbering, it is caravan 2 and 3. Caravan 1 is the caravan that Yafir Thamar is in. Caravan 4 is sort of just one of the gnomish chap is in. And caravan 5, there's another sort of assistant. You weren't able to see too clearly who it was. And caravan 6 is where Erickson is.
Okay.
So who is at the back with Erickson?
I don't want to be near Erickson. I'm like at caravan 2.
Okay, then I'll be at the back.
Okay, so Kay is sort of like running along at the back, and come on.
I'll probably be, if like Yrsa's on the right, I'll be on the left and 30 feet ahead.
Okay, so you're up basically at the front.
Yeah.
Right? And you're sort of on the other side as
Yeah.
Yrsa.
Yeah, I'll just sorry, correctly. I'm
No worries.
tired, or like if I can get on the good side of these people, I'm just gonna take a bit of a nap. All right, you can just call me anytime. All right, yeah, fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, don't worry. All right, bye.
So you drive.
I hang up my
Did you
message.
just leave a voice message?
Driving one of these is in fact, driving both of them, there is a very, very old dwarf male whose name, well, he hasn't given you his name yet, but he's sort of, you can tell he's old. And for a dwarf to look old, from your limited knowledge, is strange.
Right.
Has a beautiful beard.
Right.
Right,
Oh,
but
yeah.
in the style of the civilized, right? So it is
Right.
that plaited with it's the storied beard. It's got
Yeah.
the various little runes and things in it to imply that this is a beard that describes the story of this dwarf's life, right? And the other one is driven by a half elf lady, young lady.
Mm. Okay. Okay. If nobody else wants to, let me know if anybody else wants to do something. Otherwise, I'm gonna use my mantle of inspiration. Oh shit! Okay, I have to. No. Sorry, enthralling performance. Once per short rest, you can choose 5 creatures that watch and listen to you perform for 1 minute. And I'm gonna attempt to charm them. We have to roll a DC 16. But yeah,
Wisdom saving
with
throw.
this wisdom save. But if they don't realize after that I've charmed them.
Right. It's going to be quite hard for you to do that and have them concentrate on you for 5 minutes
Right.
because they're driving the carts.
Okay. But what about the people in the carts who are being carried along?
You're going to run along
Yeah.
behind the car
Like
and
this
play a
is-
song? Sure, you can absolutely do that. Go ahead, give it a go. I'd like a let's first of all just get a Constitution save from you with disadvantage, of course, because you're exhausted.
Yeah.
But a Constitution save just to. Oh, sorry. It won't be at disadvantage. Pardon me. It's only ability checks when you're. So just a Constitution save to see whether you are able to coordinate yourself to be able to do this without throwing up.
All right.
Oh no, that would be terrible.
That's a 6.
Oh no.
Yeah, you can't.
Okay.
Like, I mean, as much as you'd like to, like you begin to start going, and you just get this feeling around the gills and a little bit of like, I'm not sure I'm ready to sing just yet. Whatever, it feels very good on the breathing on the way in, but doesn't feel so good on the way out.
People want to hear a song. Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. There'll be a song, and however, I will allow you to do that again in a bit, right? It's not like a band. It's just like at the moment, right? You manage to make your way, however, to the edge of Terima.
Okay.
And Terima doesn't end with a wall. It ends sort of with, like, the city turns into sort of tents, and then the tents turn into more sparse tents, into like little sort of like slum areas, right? Which then turn into sort of the edge of Terima, and it just sort of peters out. And as it does so, you then start to see the edge of what is a rather, I'd say it's a rather verdant area of green that then turns and begins to become, as the sun rises and you can see more clearly, a rather more sickly brown in colour. The grass begins to give way just to a very lightly, and rather, not arid landscape, I'd say. Right? It's by no means desert, but it's certainly not the lush jungles that you've been used to in Marabanda recently. You continue to run alongside.
Okay. I guess you can see that city was very intense.
It's my door. It's like the vandalism big enough for us to see.
Oh no!
Survey team 3 for life.
You know what? Sure. Like, you can't see it clearly, but you know it's there, and you can see that building as you leave, and you can see there's a little glint of white where you think maybe that's where the paint was, but you think that's indeed that's the right. So, on that note, as you are beginning to feel a little bit more of the DTs from last night, Yrsa and Barra, right? You're definitely feeling bad right now. You're feeling really like you would just like to do nothing more than have another one of those pipes and go to sleep. But that's sort of like the intense craving and feeling that you have right now. But with your constitution, you push through. I'm not even going to make you do a roll.
I'm a professional.
After about, I would say, an hour's worth of travel, Barra, there's a moment where it's things that you've kind of moved through the landscape a little bit, and the landscape has just turned into this broad and unending plain. If you look behind you, you can kind of see some of the smoke from where Terima is and everything else, but everywhere else it is a, I wouldn't say featureless, but a very boring kind of greyish brown with a little hint of green every now and then as you travel through on a very, very well-established road through this landscape. There are hills every now and then, but they're not very large, and there's an odd copse of tree, but it's pretty arid and not particularly appealing as a landscape goes. there is an opportunity again for you to, in fact, take us to a short break with an attempt at a song.
Okay. So, I'm running alongside the caravan.
I will need you to make a concept.
Ah, shit.
Sorry, mate.
Oh,
You can do it. I believe in you.
Don't think I'm puke.
12.
12. 12 was just enough. You managed to hold it together to actually make something. You're still at a
Yes.
disadvantage, but
Okay. At disadvantage?
because of the exhaustion.
Oh, no, but it is not. This is for them to roll a wisdom saving.
Oh, it's not a performance check.
Oh, performance? No, it's my feet.
Oh, of course. In which case, they get absolutely no
Yeah.
problem. So they just make a wisdom save.
Yeah.
AC 16.
But
5 of them.
up to 5 people in the caravan that I plan to like jump into and sleep.
Okay, go ahead. How you charm them?
Okay, so there's a request for the initial D theme song. Okay. So, hello. In my culture, there is a custom where as I run alongside the caravan, I will sing a song to entertain you as I am guarding you for your protection. Okay, and you are my chosen caravan. So here is a beautiful poem from the land of some place that I'm not going to tell you. Here we go. Dum, 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 dum. I wonder if you know why I'm not running so slow. If you've seen it, then you know it. Well, this rhyme, it's going to, this is how it's going to go. I run fast and furious. No, I drift fast and, are you curious? But this, I wonder if you know why I haven't stubbed my toe. If you've seen it and you mean it, well, I guess you will not know. Fast and furious. I drift, come on. Are you curious about this? This, I give you what for? Boom, tra-tra, bonsai. Hi. Are they charmed?
Certainly, you see that there is an almost delightful sort of clapping that comes from a young half-orc boy, and there's in fact, actually, as you look inside this particular wagon, it's the one that's driven by the young half-elf woman. There are actually 3 half-orc sort of folks inside it. There's 2 slightly more elderly folks.
Right.
I mean, I would say old, but I mean slightly older than the obviously young boy that's there, who's like, yeah, that's great. That's a brilliant song. That's a great song. That's fantastic.
Hi.
That's wonderful. Have I heard that song somewhere before?
No, you have not.
Are you sure?
But I will come in and I will explain to your caravan and I will explain more of my culture to you, if you will permit.
Is that all right? It's fine by me. Yeah, it's fine by me.
Yes, I will be able to guard you better with closer proximity. Now, if you don't mind, I am just going to lie and listen to the sounds coming from the road, Lone Ranger style.
Oh.
Casey has redeemed. Sing us a song, huh?
Oh, well,
And so the 2 half-orcs looking go, we're okay with you having a rest here, but,
no, it
but
is
one
not.
more song before you do.
Oh, but it is not. I just simply want to place my ear on the floor of the caravan so I can listen for enemies coming on the way.
Oh, is that? That's so clever.
Yes, thank you. I believe there was a request for careless whispers. I'm here on the floor, and I'm resting here. I don't know how long for. Just look at me. I'm singing I sing, and I'm gonna stay right here. And so you need to have no fear. And soon I'm gonna run again. But for now I'm gonna sleep. It's easy to pretend, 'cause you guys aren't so smart. I'm just gonna pretend that I'm listening to hoofbeats on the floor. Yeah, and soon I'm gonna run again, but for now, I will try not to snore. Ooh. Oh, this is me snoring into it. Snore. Ooh, yeah, I'll try not to snore.
as the caravan continues down the road and Barra sings himself to sleep. Much to the amazement of these 3 half-orc boys that are watching him sing whilst asleep. Incredible.
But the effect is just to let you know.
Yeah.
Freaking Albert, don't navigate away from the thing. Okay, hang on. Sorry. Let me just tell you about the fate. So,
It's class ability.
yeah, you are charmed for an hour.
Mhm.
So, yeah, yes,
That's it. Your charm.
you're charmed.
Yeah,
for
I
an
mean,
hour.
they're very amenable to you.
Oh, and also, while charmed this way, the target idolizes me,
Mhm.
speaks glowingly of me to anyone who talks to them, and hinders anybody who opposes me.
You now have three great fans. In fact, they're in chance. You don't hear the same. You do hear there's a moment where the sort of the curtain opens and says, "Who's making all that racket back there?" And then the 3 boys say, "No, it's nothing. This person's they're great, and they're gonna guide us, and they're testing, and they're like listening to the sounds, and they're working out like shh. You just drive. You drive, Vincia. We'll take care of this. Don't worry. Barra's gonna protect us."
Baron.
No, not Barra. I'm called
Oh, sorry,
Baron.
Baron. Baron's gonna protect us. So,
Okay.
on that note, we're going to take a short break, folks. We shall be back in, I would imagine, about 10 to 15 minutes, so pretty brief, and then we'll be back for the last bit and of the evening. So thanks very much. Stay with us. We'll see you in 15 minutes.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Hello, and welcome back. So, oh, sorry. There you go. Hello, welcome back. As we were with the merchant Yafir Tamar and our gang as they had left Tarima, leaving behind a vandalized, let's say improved building, bedecked in the great words of Survey Team 3 for life. A somewhat disheveled, but nevertheless surviving group had got together, reapplied makeup for Sandy, our captain, which has made me want to wonder if you are not, in fact, the cast from Greece, but we're just going to put that aside.
Yeah, the one.
Oh, anyone that sings, if you manage Rizzo's song in this, I'm just going to be like, that's wonderful. But anyway, nevertheless, add to my list. You and Yafir Tamar and a group of passengers and travellers who are using the safety of this caravan, this well-guarded caravan, with you guys, another 4 guards, and 4 scouts you've not met yet because they're up ahead of you, presumably scouting, and have kind of made your way along with, of course, the Major Domo Eric Shun. And the convoy has made its way along for perhaps a few hours now out of Tarima, so you've probably been going at about 6-ish, 7 miles an hour, good pace, certainly well within your walking pace as with your moosey powers. And elky powers.
Elky.
Quite a difference, I guess. Yes. Okay.
Don't know what they are.
A mook and an elf.
A moose.
I was literally going to keep going with that. Fair point, now you've mentioned it. What is the difference between a moose and an elk?
That is an excellent question. I have no idea.
Let's ask the
Do I look
viewers.
Canadian to you?
Yes, what is the difference between a moose and an elk?
Tell us in the comments.
And if you if no, don't say first. Okay.
Oh.
And if you get it right, then Yrsa will share with you a traditional greeting from her own village.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Write answers in to moose or elk at t4c.sg. Oh, no, indeed. So our great production team has mentioned that a elk is a large animal with a reddish hue to its hair, whereas a moose is much larger and has a dark brown coat. So basically, there's no difference.
It's
What
a
is
moose
it?
with a big nose. Yeah,
No, nose is much more pronounced.
No size and color.
Yeah. The
Those are very nice
moose
pictures.
nose.
Welcome to the fourth culture where we teach you new things every day.
The word of the day is.
Fourth culture with your host, David Hasselman.
There's not nice.
As we look into the difference between elk
Yeah, the nose is different. Yeah. The antlers are so tall.
Yeah.
The antlers look different as well. Like one looks like a mushroom, like a Chinese mushroom.
What kind of mushroom are we
You mean like a
eating?
woody mushroom?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Well, nevertheless, as you have
Oh, shit.
embraced
Grim just shared the whole.
The one E.T.
Oh, I did say just now that if somebody shared the definition, then Yrsa was going to share a traditional greeting from an Orcish.
Oh, I was.
Yes.
orcish moose greeting
So, orcish moose.
or elk.
Yeah,
Or
just
elk, yeah.
just an Orcish greeting. Just,
Ah.
假爸妹. Yeah.
So that can be-
Because 假爸妹.
okay.
Because in Orc, we oh, your hello, goodbyes, this is so common. We are more, concerned about the important things like, have you eaten?
假爸妹.
Ah,
They say so the musicality
Yeah.
to the tone.
Exactly.
now tell me, do you learn Orcish with Critical Role? Now, on that note, as you, hello to anybody watching who likes Critical Role, we love it too. Now, that being said, as we carry on and the caravan begins to continue onwards, we find that Barra is Baron is Barra, pretending to be Baron, is having a good sleep, protected by some rather enchanted young Orcish lads who think that Barra is the best thing since sliced bread. Would anybody else like to do anything at this particular point? I mean, there is. It is a sort of long and good view of the savannah or the plains around you. They go on for a fair distance. There are rolling hills, a good half a mile to a mile away.
Kaman runs over to Yrsa. Psst, Yrsa,
Ah,
I think we'll be okay. I don't think they'll be able to tag it to us what we did to the fourth hole.
well, I don't think anyone would unless you bring it up.
Because we put the 4 too close to the 3. So it's Survey 34 Life.
Ah,
Survey Team 34 Life.
that's wonderful news.
But we should have passed it better.
How are you so perky? I've
I've been thinking about this all morning.
Really?
Yes,
This was top of mind for you?
it's important.
Okay. I'm glad you're the leader now. Go think of other things.
Okay. Oh,
As you carry on, who would like to roll a d12 for me?
Put the D10 down. Okay. D12 down.
Put the d10 down.
That's not a D.
Let's d12. D12.
Oh, you said right? 12, right? 12.
12. Oh. Okay, and roll it again for me.
Oh no.
失败小了。
Swear I knew it. One.
Okay.
I knew it, in my head.
What did you
It
do?
was too good. Yeah, no. I was like, it's too good.
Awesome. Well, as you carry on ahead for a while, right, you start to see that the land, the hills are becoming a little bit more pronounced, right? And this pathway winds its way up through the hills, and as you kind of are running alongside, at some point, one of the other guards, whose name is Grim, steps back and says, "My lord, Thamar wishes to speak with your leader."
Yes, that one.
I point in the general direction of Sandy.
And so you trot up to the leading van, as it were, and
hello. How can I help you?
and you see Thamar is there, and he's got his hands on the reins, and the animals that are pulling these are a mixture of, in some cases, simple but sturdy looking horses. In other cases, they are some sort of dinosaur lizard creature, right? There's nothing particularly overly aggressive about them. They seem like very normal herbivorous types, but they are, they're clearly not horses, right? Anyway, as you come up to the front, you see that he has a much more sturdy, almost it's like a I can't remember what type it was. The sort of the duck-billed dinosaur type. It's like it's sat on two legs, as it were. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But the point is, it's on two legs, and it's sort of quite happily pulling it along, like a large ostrich
Like a Pokemon.
or similar.
There's a Pokemon that looks like a duck. What's the sad one?
Psyduck.
Psyduck.
Well, apologies, Nintendo, not Psyduck. We're saying Cider Duck. Anyway, Cider Duck. Yeah, but regardless, a bit like that, but no, not at all like that. Imagine an ostrich, but the ostrich was a lizard. So I mean, just take the feathers off, basically, right?
Okay.
But sort of quite beefy, but it's sort of two legs, kind of hefty there, and it's sort of pulling it along without too much.
Like a naked chocobo.
Chocobo. Oh yeah, like the ones
Chocobo.
in Final Fantasy.
Oh, right. Yeah. But not like that either, because
But more, lizardy.
Cheryl's now.
Oh yes. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, don't Google naked chocobo, please.
Don't do
That is
not going to be
Don't
good.
do that.
But anyway, as
Cute.
Yeah.
yes.
More like that than that.
Subconscious references, but there we go. Indeed. So the naked chocobo is fronted to, and it sort of continues to pull at this large wagon. At the front, which however is sat Yrsa Tamara with reins kind of in his hand, but not necessarily like he's not trying to gallop or anything. He's just got them in hand, just keeping a bit of a watch out. And he sort of says, as you come up, he goes, my friend, hello. This is good to see you as well. You appear to have, joined the prison gang.
Hard.
Yes, I come from complicated background.
Well, I will not judge a man by the color of his tattoo.
Thank you. I wear this yellow ribbon to signify my return to being useful member of society. How can I help you?
Right. I was in fact going to say that we have perhaps 4 hours of travel more, and then we'll be making our own camp. Would there be anything particular that you would need to do? Otherwise, I will ask you to just remain on guard. We're coming into a troubling stretch.
Oh, are there any hazards we should look out for?
Pardon me?
Hazards.
No, once more.
Hazard.
Does not help.
Hazard.
Perhaps try a different word than not speaking loud.
Anything danger?
Yes, but this is well known for the banditries and the, the dacoits that infest these hills. I imagine to a group that is as robust. Where is your group?
They are around. They are so good. You don't need to see them.
As
If you
robust?
do not see them, they are doing their job. If you see them, they are also doing their job.
There's an old expression where I come from, ladies and gentlemen, called never bullshitter. As he looks at you and he goes, right, of course. If I were to see them, then I would know they were there, and it would ruin the element of surprise. You, my friend, are a canny businessman.
Wow. And you are a smart man.
Then we shall have profitable journeys.
Only you. You, cause you businessman. You make all the money.
This is rather uncomfortable. Now, so he then says, but yes, there are bandits, dacoits, and others in these hills. It's certainly the rumors. I have been accosted more than once, but without any significant issues because I've always traveled with guards, such as yourself.
So, why do the trees want to rob us?
Is this a metaphysical question?
No, you said the bandit trees.
I was not referring to trees that were made of bandits.
Oh,
I'm speaking of people who have slid out of the normal livelihoods, perhaps because of ignoble events in their life, and have turned their hands to banditry.
Ah,
So it's not criminal vegetation.
I feel you have the better of me all today. I definitely do realize that perhaps I stayed up a bit too late last night. Nevertheless, yes, I do not mean criminal vegetation, nor in fact do we mean any form of plant or herbaceous life whatsoever, though in fact one cannot say that because there are dryads and other yokai, but not here in this arid and difficult place.
We will not let them Lacoste you.
Lacrosse.
Lacoste. You say they Lacoste you.
clearly we are having problems understanding each other today.
You see there's a moment he wiggles his tongue and he's basically cast comprehend languages. And he looks and he says to you, he says, what?
You say you get a Lacoste by the banditry when you are crossing through the area, so we must look out.
I didn't say anything about banditries.
I totally hate banditries. That's why I came up to ask because I've never heard it before. But it's okay. I understand now. It's a miscommunication. I will go back.
It is almost like cultures go to war over these sorts of minor slips. But nevertheless, I will try again and constrain my voracious vocabulary. Attempt to speak in a more selective and yet helpful parlance.
It's
No,
okay.
Damn it, language. Damn it, vocabulary.
You don't worry. You take care of your vocabulary. I take care of your safety.
We will kill them if they're trees or not trees. If they bandit us, we will kill them. It's okay.
Then this will be complicated. Please let me do the talking if we do get interrupted.
Okay,
This is right.
I continue running.
Fantastic. So you carry on running for a little bit. You see there is just a level of like what just happened? But
What did they send me?
can I get a deception check from you?
Oh no.
Because that is obviously not command and it's not
19.
then yeah, he's
Convinced.
he is he's definitely puzzled, and he has a very, very high insight, very high perception. So he's a merchant. He's a very good merchant. So he's obviously rolled very well, but not enough to like bust through that, right? But he's obviously a little bit right. But you're here. I'm not supposed to ask any questions, so we'll just let it roll, right? That's kind of roughly what he's doing, right? So he's letting it roll. So you carry on and you get towards the point where there is a actually I will get survival checks from the people that are outside. This is with disadvantage for you, Yrsa.
So we were
22.
25,
13.
22.
22.
Come on, it's a survivalist.
And 13 from Yrsa.
Yeah.
Okay, so Yrsa, you would be annoyed with Barra, but you also just respect what Barra's done by getting a good bit of sleep in. Like, fair play. It's fucking irritating, but fair play, right? Whereas Kia, you and Kaman are, or should I say, Melissa. You and Sandy are looking up ahead, and as you do so, that whether it's independently or whether it's together, it's up to you guys. But you get a kind of vibe that says, if I was a tree made of bandits, I would probably think that up ahead, that little area where there's a little bluff, and then I have to kind of go down this way and then cut back on myself, and then there's a bit of an overhang. Like, that would be where I would be setting up an ambush if I was a tree made of bandits.
Heads up! Dangerous area! Everyone heads up!
Okay, Barry, you're conked out. I presume you're trying to get a long rest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're about You're about 6 hours into a long rest on this one.
Oh.
Now, the way you do long rest is that you need to get 8 hours of sleep, right? But that doesn't mean that you you can get the benefits of a short rest first, right? And then top it up to a long rest. So you don't get your spell slots back and stuff like that, but I don't actually think that's a problem for you. You're just trying to get your exhaustion gone.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get your exhaustion gone until you hit the full 8 hours, right?
Yes.
And you can thank Lisa for this later. So your roles. And so as you come closer to this bluff, I would like anybody that's outside having a look to make a perception check, please. Because you enter into this sort of ravine area. And you I think I would like a maximum of 2. So one person can do it and give advantage, or 2 people can do it with
Perception.
Team sober.
Powering on.
Perception, right?
Yeah.
13.
15. Actually, looks alright. Kind of looks fine, actually.
Maybe I'm too paranoid.
Yeah. Seems alright as you sort of steer the wagon through and keep going further around the bend. And it is basically like you go straight and then there's a wall of a cliff face, and so you have to come back and then you can carry on straight. Almost like you're going into and down into a bit of a canyon area with switchbacks that kind of leads you through here. Right? After about 5 or 10 minutes of traveling further down, right, you find that actually getting the carts around these canyons is a bit of a pain. You can do it; it's not hard, but it's not really get a cart and then manage to run alongside without too much of a problem. They're quite tight at times. Right? So you get to one such point, and you see that cart number 3. Which is the cart that Barra's sleeping, right?
So soon.
Turns around a fork and is just kind of gets a wheel stuck. Right? It's nothing awful, nothing terrible. Just kind of comes off the sort of the sort of paved road, and then from coming off the paved road, then one wheel has slipped, and then it's kind of lost traction, and that's kind of meant that the harness has slipped on the animal, and then there's just a bit of a palaver. Nothing too terrible, but the entire wagon train is called to a halt because the stuff behind is stopped. Right? It's at that point as you see that Yrsa comes back, and he is looking around going, "Is everybody okay? Is everyone all right? Everything is good here? This is..."
The wheel is stuck. The wheel is stuck. I believe we can try and fix it. Or unstuck it.
I'm sure this will be a matter of minutes for them to do, and if not, then certainly I suspect that either Eric or one of the others will be able to help you assist this issue. I will need to make sure that I get back to the front, though. I want to make sure that we don't... Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
And as he turns around, you see that there is, just at the front of... So as you come around this hairpin, there's this cart that's here. There's another cart that's in front of it. I don't have a map, unfortunately, so we're going to have to do this in our minds.
Right.
And then there's a cart in front of that one, and then in front there, about 20 yards or so, sort of ahead of you guys, so you won't be able to see it, Barra. I will get you guys to roll a dice, any dice you like. Odds you can see it, evens you can't. Same for you, Kaman.
Odds you can see.
Mhm.
I have odd.
Even.
Okay, so you can't see it. So 2 of you can see it, and Kia, you're on the other side.
Yeah,
You
I'm
can't
in the
see
back,
it.
yeah.
So you see there are a group of large, sort of not quite humanoid creatures. They are from this distance make big perception rolls, Herbie.
Everybody?
The 2 people, yes.
Sure.
Hey, it's not bad. 15.
17.
So they look, certainly 2 of them look like they are large centaur-like creatures.
Huh.
Oh.
And there seem to be some other creatures there too.
I look up ahead and I say, Mr. Kaman, there are 2 horse people up in front.
Well,
Maybe they are horse
thank you,
people.
Sandy. I had not noticed that. That is why I did not swear for 1 minute ago.
Oh.
That was sarcasm, Sati.
So you want me to go talk to them?
Perhaps you may just accompany me, but please do not speak until I do so.
Okay, I keep quiet.
And so,
I will come along as muscle.
perfect. And he sort of walks up, and you two flank him along as he does so. As he gets closer to the front, you see that these two centaurs are big, abnormally large. Like, so they look mean. Like, as if they've got tattoos with
Mean.
Oh,
hearts, or, hard to please, or some equivalent sort of combination. But they weren't theirs, right? And so, as you get closer, you see they seem to be flanking a much shorter and slimmer figure. And this figure, it looks over and is wearing a red sash across his vest, and is wearing dark brown to maroon almost armor. It's got little black metal studs holding it together. It's sort of looks very well made, black armor, sort of marine armor, and has a pair of short swords belted on each side, and is loosely holding just a spear in one hand, right? So and this rather imposing person also has one eye solitarily in its forehead, just there.
Oh,
No other eyes, just a single eye in its forehead.
it's a small cyclops.
Cyclops tall. Is it like,
No.
does it have a horse body?
No horse body.
Oh, right.
So, I was going very strange places with that. Sorry.
But nevertheless, the two
I got 3.
indeed the two centaurs do appear to be deferring to this person. As you get closer, you see there is a small point to their ears, but not not sort of long and thin. This is a relatively skinny, but still quite muscular creature. But the skin is rather dark, right? Sort of maybe a little darker than me. Sort of hard to tell, right? But one single large eye in the forehead, and as you get closer, a large smile, which is filed and pointed teeth. Sort of, it says, Well. You appear to have found yourself at a bit of a problem, huh? Maybe we can help your wagon on the way. For the right price. You seem like a quite a sensible merchant, with your guards and your goods and your peoples. Why don't you make an arrangement with me? And Yrsa kind of looks across and is looking at this creature, and it's like, well, of course, we are always very happy to make arrangements. What is a reasonable price? What is enough to make it worth your while and not make it worth your while to draw blood? I mean, who will wish to make war in this place? And the creature looks back and says, yeah, certainly it would be a terrible, tragic mistake for you to do that, hey? And it sort of whistles much louder than I did. And as you do so, you see that there's probably about 5 or 6 people, creatures, or whatever, that sort of make themselves visible up at the top. So,
Maybe if they don't carefully fall down.
The vegetation are very deadly.
Sometimes when you're looking down too long, a bit easy, they will fall.
We're like Soto Boche in the back.
oh, yeah, it's noticing, she's sort of looking at you. And so says, right. So, how about we say, what's a reasonable price for your lives, do you think? 10 gold per person?
Aye.
That seems like a bargain. You go happy, I go happy, and we just let you through. You never know. Maybe we'll even help you fix your broken wheel. And Nefarious kind of looking and going, and he's sort of weighing it up, and then he says, please, let me go and check what our treasury state is with these fine folks. And then the secretary looks across and says, yes, absolutely. Do your risk calculation. Work out if it's worth it or not. And we'll see where it takes you. Huh?
Can we see what the creatures are up there?
Make a perception roll.
Just to check, since the wheel on my cart was upset, would the little voice have woken me up? Also, like my feet doesn't last that long; it lasts for 1 hour.
But you weren't really doing anything, and so they were positively inclined, and then they sort of wore off, and they didn't hate you afterwards. I didn't think,
Okay.
because you said you don't know where the source comes from.
Yeah.
So they just got a big boost of like, oh, we like you, and then we're like, why is there someone sleeping in this car?
Right.
I don't know, he seemed like a trustworthy sort. And that
Okay.
sort of- so they haven't kicked you out.
Okay.
They're just a bit sort of, that's odd. But you have been woken now.
Okay.
Can I outsource the?
As we're walking back, Yrsa starts looking up, and so Kaman tries to make out who these figures on top are.
Sure, go ahead.
27. Holy crap,
Wow.
natural 20.
Natural 20?
Yeah.
Okay, so, you would need to be quite good. You can see that there are a mixture of various humanoids and non-humanoids, but not your average bunch of humans, half-elves, dwarves, and the rest. This is the nomadic creatures. You think you can see a couple of other creatures with one eyes, but they're much bigger. You think you can see some humanoids, and they have some sort of scales and some sort of other maybe lizard men, maybe something. It's really hard for you to make out, and it's only because of the 27 that you can even see these people. Like, it's more just they're rattling swords and other things like that, and you're like, oh, what can I tell about you, right?
But I've got to count, so it's probably like 3, 3, and then 3 in front.
It's the 3 in front, and then but you can tell there are only 3 and 3.
Okay.
So
That I can see.
with the 27 though, like, you're pretty confident you've clocked them all, so there's a total of 9.
9.
How far up are they? Like, I think at this point, Barra goes like, oh, I heard a sound. I mean, I heard a sound. Listening to the pro. There is danger.
Ravine's probably about 15, 20 feet high, so it's not very, like, you could scale it if you had to, but it's difficult, but you could do it. It's certainly, it's that's why it's dangerous. It's like you could drop into it.
Right. Can I see the creatures at this point?
You're still inside. I mean, if you jumped out,
I think I would have jumped up since there's danger, but I don't know whether I can see where them.
I would say probably not.
Okay.
But if you are outside now, it's good to know. So you're outside and back.
You can see us walking back.
Yeah, and you see walk back. You see so Sihir Tabak says, then Sandy, what do you recommend that we do? What is your course of action here?
There is danger here.
Maybe we should get the rest of my team together. Okay.
Baron. I detected something.
Melissa, Baron, also come and we talk a bit with the bossman. So, Mr. Tabak, can you afford to pay them this exorbitant fee?
I will not be paying it for everybody, of course. This is a ridiculous amount of money to spend.
Oh, then it looks like they might be wanting our blood war.
I mean, of course, look, I do not want anybody to... here is the question. Can you kill them all?
We can.
Or can you find some other way of getting us out of this mess? I do not wish to spend what we are talking 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. There's already more 4s than I care to count. Plus another 10 gold each. So we're talking 120 gold already. Plus who knows how much.
Okay.
Okay.
We smack the living shit out of them.
You are able to. This is not. I guess this is my question to you. If we have to pay, we have to pay. I do not prefer to pay.
The strategic situation is quite bad. Well, the two groups up there will be.
How many groups would you say we see upstairs?
It's got 3 and then got 3.
How far away? How far away would you say the two groups of the 3 are?
How far up are they?
No, are they between them? Between them.
Yeah.
So they're about 15-20 feet up. How
How high up are they?
It's like 50 feet up.
Okay.
how far are the two groups?
I would say that the ravine itself doesn't actually fully enclose, so there's probably, what do you think? About 15 or 20 feet apart, actually. There's a good distance between the two. You couldn't really jump easily.
I can cast my special single in the sky.
Oh, that's a good idea. You can take out. You can
A
take
lot
out.
of people, and then you just deal with the people on the floor.
Okay, you can catch all 6 of them.
I try. It depends on whether they are wise or not.
I hope they're stupid.
I also hope so.
They don't look stupid.
Nobody asked you, Marisa.
Lenny, Melissa,
Mm.
are you okay to take on the horse people and one-eye man?
Yes.
Yes.
I have bad feeling for whoever you go hit first.
I tell you, it's like 3 weeks and I turned you into a blood crazed maniac, Lisa. That's I'm so excited.
So many times.
Okay, so
There's a hole. Oh my goodness.
oh, we have a hole, everybody.
Oh, yes.
So a bit of interactivity. So fight or flight is the question. It's not necessarily binding, but it's going to give you a good hint as to what our viewers would care for you to do.
We could run. Yeah. It's a possibility, hypnotic pattern and run.
Hypnotic pet.
But
Yeah,
I think I don't want to catch the people up there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the
but
problem is that the wagon is still stuck.
Yeah, but hypnotic pattern will take them out indefinitely unless these people run and go wake them up.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
I could stop them, I guess.
And this
Yeah.
is what Yafir says. Because of course we cannot travel particularly fast. I mean, obviously we have the broken wagon. Well, it is not broken. It just needs to be fixed. Well,
And
I
the
guess that
chasers.
means it is broken. So
Okay.
by definition.
Well, since I can smell the bloodlust in the air
Okay then.
from
Thank
the
you.
internet,
For the blood.
Yeah.
What makes the grass grow? Blood. Blood. Blood.
Okay, let's do it.
that's flight though. I think flight is all no, it's moving. Yes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I don't know why.
Blood. Blood.
100%.
Well, it does appear this you have made your mind up.
I feel like external forces have decided our destiny.
The hand of fate is amongst us.
Hand of fate. Yes.
Blood for the blood god. Milk for the cornflakes.
That is the wrong. What's the word?
I'm sorry, I don't know why my friend suddenly
Franchise.
speak and suddenly speak like possessed. Summon the spirit of distant oak somewhere.
So, Mr. Tama, can you keep yourself safe while this is happening? I think there is about to be some excitement.
Or maybe is it we are not yet in initiative? Because if not yet, I surprise with a hypnotic pattern.
Oh,
You're welcome to try.
okay.
Can we try to get their guards to guard the caravan while we go and attack our ambushers?
Yes. So currently there are a couple of their guards that are trying to deal with the wheel.
Yeah.
Right. There's a couple that are right back at the back of the caravan, and that's it. Right, because the scouts have not returned from wherever the scouts are.
Not bad scouts.
Yeah.
How the shit didn't miss this bunch of people?
Maybe that.
Maybe they are paid. Means a few less people to pay 10 gold for. It's one way to cut down the cost. Mr. Kumar, the one to share. If you are a businessman, you are paying per person You want to kill it as many people. No. I was speaking philosophically about the okay. Anyway, Mr. Tama, you are in prison.
So they don't read our lips. I think I put umbrella up to cover us.
Oh.
As soon as you start casting a spell, I want everyone to roll initiative, please.
What message? Thanks a lot. Come on.
I was putting umbrella up. It was illusion of umbrella.
Wait, what is this?
21.
I'm so hungover. I'm moving a bit.
19.
So,
18.
6 large javelins
Oh, shit.
are thrown into the chasm, and one of them kind of like goes clang off the side of, nothing particularly useful, right? But 6 of them instead, 5 of them do manage to hit their targets. I rolled very well. Most of them were 17 and above. So,
Okay.
but with that plus the bonuses to hit, they'll have hit you guys, right? So, one is coming straight at you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 of them are coming straight at you because you're casting. One is coming at you,
I just woke up.
but you're sort of
No, I know.
gesticulating
No,
various
of
other
course, yeah.
things, right?
Among what did you get? Sorry.
18.
18. and-
19 for Joe.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
One is coming at you,
Why?
and one is coming at you
She's small.
because you're the obvious guard, and one is obviously coming at you. There's the mark.
Okay.
So, I need. So they've all hit. So what I need is. Oh, one of them hit with a crit. Now, which one is it?
Shit.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for you for tomorrow. 6. Okay, fine. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so yours was a hit with a crit.
Oh, no.
Now,
That's why it's more critical. It's less of you.
Yeah.
But that's mean.
so
It's true.
this javelin does 14 points of damage to you. So it comes, it like slams into you. Kind of, it sort of hits you, and you gets you at a moment you're not quite expecting it, as it kind of like gets you quite meatily, and it's quite painful.
She exclaimed in character, by the way.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Please do it again. Oh.
I can minus this of temp, right?
Yes, you still have 9 temp. 10, 11 temp.
11. So minus.
Anyone for more than 11? Anyone for more than 11? 11 now, 11 now, anyone for 11 now.
Yeah, sorry.
So, and then we have Joe, you will take 9 hit points of damage.
Okay.
Kaman, you are 8, and then you will take 6. So that's 18 points of damage from 2 separate ones.
Aye.
And finally, Yrsa, you are taking 11 points of damage.
Okay.
And, oof, ouch. Okay, that is 14 points of damage to Sihir Tabak. Takes a huge, strike from one of these javelins.
18. What?
14.
Shit.
I literally rolled like a maximum damage for the dice, so I do. And this thing, this javelin just appears in this gut. Oh no! This is, I would say, most inconvenient. Right, healing potions. I must, and he sort of will also roll initiative, and then we will hear what the initiative is. So he rolls terribly on initiative. Excellent. Okay. Who have we got initiative-wise, please?
We've got Kia at 21,
Okay.
Barra at 19,
Okay.
Kaman at 18,
Okay.
and Yrsa at 8, because hungover.
Oh no.
Indeed, and initiative for folks at home is in fact an ability check, so you will be rolling that with disadvantage here. So
Oh shit. So I need to reroll that again.
yes, with your exhaustion.
Okay, the 8 was the lower.
16.
16.
Okay, so 16 for Barra. Got it.
Okay.
Okay. So 2 centaur people.
Centaur.
So centaurs are going on 16.
Mhm.
The
Are they, what's the, would it be before Barra or after?
My dex is +1, so.
the centaurs are going to be Dex +2. So
Yeah.
Okay.
so centaurs. The toothy chap is going to act pretty much first to roll a natural 20, and then the folks up the top are going to get to roll 1 dice for each left and 1 dice for right. So right goes on a non-natural 20.
Before or after the small cyclops?
No, you rolled natural 20 for the small cyclops, so it's 24 in total.
wow.
So,
Small cyclops.
and 6 for
Small
the
clops.
left side. Tiny clops. Okay, so Toothy Clops goes first.
Toothy clops.
And kind of looks out with a grin and says, what on earth is going on here? Oh, hey!
New stick time to prime, yes. But first, can you help me count how many dice I have, Cheryl?
Yes, actually, that's a very good point. Let's take a moment here. Whilst Cheryl, you have 7?
Extra.
7 extra dice. Okay, so everybody that's been playing along at home has been helping to use their channel points in this kind of interesting economy we're building to try and figure out what the right pricing is. But nevertheless, we have a whole bunch of buffs that the party can get given, and we need it. For example, Kia can get key points back, or can get powered up in other ways. Barra can regain spells. Kaman can also do the same thing. There's a bless ability that floats in there somewhere. There is the ability to have a whole bunch of extra damage, which is exactly what Yrsa is about to do. It all has to get expended at once. So the question is, what's Yrsa going to attack? Now, that being said, so please, the more you do, the more. Come on down, the price is right.
Thank our new follows also, Forever DM 456. Daniel just here, and thanks for following us.
Thank you! Welcome to the stream!
Yes.
I'm gonna explode something.
As a Forever DM myself, I'm glad to see your handle there, Forever DM.
Yeah. So, what number will you say you are? Rubber DM 459? Maybe just a few places after?
Oh, absolutely. I'm very happy for 456 to be up there in front of me, indeed. Yes. The toothy cyclops sort of creature looks across at you all and says, well, I suppose you've made your decision then. That was easy enough. All you had to do was pay your way through, but no, it's got to be blood on the carpet. Oh well, I guess it's time. And he begins to sprint forwards towards the front van, pulling 2 short swords out from each side. And actually, you thought they were short swords beforehand, right? But actually, as they come out, there's this weird trick. No, there's this weird trick. That one's weird trick. Confused, and his hand just falls over. No, it's confusing. As actually, what appears to be a short sword just keeps going, and it turns out to be a very long, almost like a koppesh like scimitar. Right? So they're 2 long kind of cavalry sort of scimitars, cavalry sabers.
What brand was that? Where did they fit?
Well, indeed.
It's a curved kind of sword.
Yeah, much more sort of curved.
More like a bow.
Yeah, it's almost like a half moon curve. It's like a very, very curved sword.
Smooth sliding.
And so, and as this creature moves, it moves with a almost predatory grace and speed. It's fast and incredibly light, and sort of jumps onto the first of the sort of wagons, right? And like somersaults onto the roof of it, and then just jumps off, and then dives and attacks Kaman.
Oh,
Wow.
The leader.
Would you say that he's within 5 feet of me?
Yeah, because we're in a huddle.
I'm okay with that statement. Yes.
Okay.
I'm all right with this thing. Thank you, Casey. Yes, it is a tulwa. That is the word that would not come to my mind. Thank you very much. That is exactly the word. And because you remember that word, I'm going to give you advantage on your next dice roll, Casey. Thank you very much. You can go to any D&D game you play, and you can say that Ramji on the Fourth Culture gave you advantage on your dice roll, and they can come to the stream and watch it and realize that DM, I'm telling you, Casey gets advantage on the next die roll. All right? Yeah, cool.
And given that he is within 5 foot of me, would that guy also be within 5 foot of me?
I think this is a bit of a push, but go on. Where are you going with this?
I am going to use my reaction and Sentinel! And try to hit him.
So one of the interesting things about Sentinel is about when you move away from your engagement range, not into it.
No, it's when a creature within 5 foot of you makes an attack against a target other than you. You can use your reaction.
It's attack. It's not. Sorry, I'm confused. I was thinking it's the.
Let's Polar Master.
Yeah, Polar Master is the one where you're moving. 5 foot of you. It dejects with ability to block.
Not quite. The second part. But
I think. What Sentinel will then mean is it then can't move away.
yes, he can still do the attack.
Sure. Yes, you can. Okay. Make a sentinel attack.
Okay. Duk. Oh no, this is bad. I'm
You
sorry.
need to roll with disadvantage.
I believe it's only on ability checks, so you
Okay.
roll
Not attack.
rating.
Okay.
This will be 15.
15?
Mm.
15 is a miss for this one. Only just though, because you managed to scrape across its armor. It just leaves a furrow across the armor, but to no visible effect you can see. It, however, will make 17 and 18. Both hits, and the third one, which is 21, which will hit. So,
Goodbye, my command.
first attack, 9 points of damage.
Okay.
Second attack, 6 points of damage.
15.
Third points of attack, 7 points of damage.
22.
Ouch. Ouch indeed. As it sort of like slams the two bars. And then it comes back for the third chop. It's like, and you wish there's this moment of almost cartoon like slash just appears on you because the blades just move so quickly. And it sort of lands there just as you slam it with its with your sentinel attack, but fail to scratch across it. And it looks over and just goes, "I'll come to you in just a second." As we go to Kay.
I want to use my short sword and do a stunning strike.
A stunning strike?
Yeah.
You can. I think isn't stunning strike you have to hit, and then once you've hit, you can.
Yes.
you keep
Yeah.
it. So first of all, you have to do your attack, I believe, first.
Okay, so I first use my sharp sword too, and then I try and slice his face to get his eye and impair his vision.
His one eye.
I'm sorry, say that again, please. Okay. You may do your now famous be blind attack. So make 2 attack rolls.
Yes, the be blind
Two
attack. We are now observing the be blind attack in action.
First one is
I think you need a 16.
It's 15.
Oh.
So no, but the second one
just
is
a miss, yeah.
19 plus 8, 27.
It's obviously 27 to hit. Yes.
And with my
Nice.
6 plus 8.
8 points damage. Okay. So
Yeah.
you don't blind this creature, but you do manage to like get a good cut across its sort of forearm as it's sort of reaching and it's trying to avoid Yrsa's blow, and you sort of you run in and whoosh, across with your first short sword blow, and it sort of steps out of the way. But then maybe its lack of depth perception means that you're then able to like catch it across its forearm, and it's sort of,
It has
Yes,
3
okay.
eyes though. So
Wait. She hit.
yes,
And she wanted to do a stunning strike.
yes, and you can
Yeah.
do a stunning strike if you wish.
Go on.
So you attempt to.
Do it.
What is the name of the stunning strike?
Do it.
Oh no.
You can repeat your be blind. Because that's you're very single minded.
We'd be stunned.
Yeah.
Be still! Then I try to stab his leg.
No.
Oh,
No,
no.
you're using the
Oh,
key point.
ah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you have to do a con save.
Con save?
DC 14.
Please, me.
And on behalf of all DMs everywhere, fuck stunning strike. So there's a moment as you have slammed across the forearm with this thing, and you take a half moment, and you're kind of off balance, and then you pivot and you slam in with your knee just to a pressure point exists in the back of the hip, and just whack into it, and you freeze that like kind of like lower meridian, and there's a point where just like this creature just locks up and it just goes, my chiropractor's gonna be mad. And it's frozen position there.
Stunning monk is best monk. Casey says.
Do you have any
Yes.
bonus actions?
Bonus action.
No other bad guy is near me anymore yet, right?
Not yet. No, the 2 centaurs haven't had a chance to go in.
Can I attack him while he's stunned?
Sure, you'll get advantage on your attack, and I think he remains stunned until the next.
Yeah, he
Till
does.
next turn.
Until the end of my next turn.
Does it get a save against it if you do damage?
It doesn't say. So no.
Fine.
Okay. Bonus. Okay, I will do flurry of blows.
A flurry of blows.
Yes.
They flurry away.
Flurry.
Yeah, okay, so it's 2 unarmed strikes. I jump off his head and kind of bash down into his shoulders.
Okay.
And then I spin around and try and kick him in the stomach.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. 9 plus 8, 17.
Okay.
That's a hit.
And a 24.
That's also a hit.
Yeah.
Can I borrow your 6?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, 6 for both, so plus 5 for
Oh,
each.
yeah,
It's
that-
11 for both.
Well done.
See, did you roll with advantage as well when you rolled?
No, for
The attack rolls.
no.
Yeah,
But
because
they
you might
both
crit.
hit.
You might crit. So
Oh.
My crit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Shit, I can't
20s.
remember what it was.
No, but it's okay.
Doesn't matter. Just roll and if you get
roll
these
something
20,
to
we'll
get
double one of the
Okay.
sixes.
Yeah. So they want to get double one of the sixes.
Yeah, so
yeah.
it becomes
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
because we didn't say otherwise, we'll just double.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what we
yeah.
do. So that's 12 plus how much?
The first one was
So it's
6.
11 plus another 6, so it's 17.
17.
Yeah.
Then plus your stat.
No, so you rolled 6 on both dice, right?
Yeah.
So what is it normally when you attack? It's plus 5?
Yeah.
So it's 11 for
11.
one dice.
Yeah.
So the second dice would then do 17. So to your point, that's 28 in total.
Whoa.
Oh my god, I'm so happy.
Just he did 22 to me only.
Yes.
Well, how much is this again?
28.
So you did a total of 36 points of
Karma.
damage right there.
Or Carmen?
Indeed. And you say that, Carmen, and you literally, with that sort of stunning strike, it sort of lock it in position, and you kind of whip around, and you're just like, flurry of blows, kind of just into his eye. Just like, into his eye.
Hello. Thanks
And so, as you then like batter against his face and against his eyes, like screeches out in pain, but can't move because he's stunned because you're a monk. As a moment later, he collapses to the ground.
Oh shit!
He's just a fucking bandit chief. I mean, he's not like it's not a big boss. It's a random encounter bandit chief. Of course, you kill them with 36 points of damage, right? They just all got surprise attacks on you guys.
Do you finish him off or do you let him live?
No, there's none of that. And, like, no. This is not there's no bleeding out for these guys, right? You just did 36 points of damage straight to him, right? Like all the way through. Like you guys, as heroes, get all this death saving throws, good nonsense, right? This is just like you just beat the living shit out of this
So
guy.
this interesting NPC with the 2 cool swords has now expired.
Yeah, his next 5.
Taking is too cool, so
I'm just saying. Like cool, like very nice toolbars, but dead.
Okay.
Yeah, so she can take those trophies.
Yes. Cool.
Okay. A group of 3 on the right. As you look up, look over and go.
Fuck.
Well, was that in the plan, Ted? No, that definitely wasn't in the plan. What should we do? I propose Plan X. What's Plan X?
Exit.
Plan exit the fuck out of here. And they just run the fuck away. Because they're at the top, you don't really notice too much more than that. That's obviously for the highlight reel later, whatever. But the point is, practically, that you don't see anything happen from there. Minutes later, come on, it's your turn.
Oh, okay.
Or moments later.
We have a new follower.
Initiative order.
Initiative order is amazing, except in this combat where it's kind of like beating my DM ass up.
How far away are the centaurs from
Thank
us?
you for following. I'm sorry.
How
what?
far away are the centaurs from us?
The centaurs are about 30-ish feet from you.
Perfect. So I'm going to put 30-ish feet of spike growth between us and the 2 centaurs.
Nice.
Okay.
And let them decide whether they're going to come at us or go home.
Okay. So you do so, and you bring. In this particular arid climb, there your usual spike growths have like vines and stuff isn't there. Instead, these are just heavy, dark brown brambles that just come out of the ground and then just almost appear like dark caltrops. Like these are very unpleasant looking sort of protuberations from the ground, but they're not kind of like coming out of the ground into this sort of. These are just like horrible, dirty terrain, and they're looking over it and they're going.
Then I, holding my wounds, I stagger backwards and crouch behind a wagon. Ouch! I'm done.
Okay. Two centaurs look across and they go. This was not in the plan. No, this was definitely not in the plan. Did we have a plan? We definitely had the plan. Was this not just not? Well, what should we do? Well, we should bugger off. That's what we should do. Well, how about you? No, after you. No, after you. And they just both turn and they just bugger off the other way. Like that, and they gallop off. Right, they're just at full pace. Right, and moments pass, and then there was a point where you should have just left there going, "What? This just happened there."
Did they all fail their auto checks?
So literally all failed bottle checks. As I rolled, talk about it later, I guess. But from a practical perspective, you weren't really, not you weren't meant to. Obviously, the dice went that way, but you alphaed their leader, and they were not expecting that, and that was not on the cards for today. And what was said on the cards was a valiant retreat. Let's call it that. But carry on. You were now out of initiative as Yefirtima just kind of curses and swears and sort of staggers over to one of the wagons, and a minute later you see that Eric has kind of like scrambled up and gone. Yefir, what has happened? What has happened? Is everything okay? Are you okay? Can I help? What is this? Is terrible. Let me go, and then kind of get something out of a box and begins to bandage his wound and everything else, and you are left with a somewhat disabled caravan that is, beginning to be filled in some ways, and a remainder of an evening ahead of you while you figure out what you're going to do.
Kaman's binding his wounds.
Ow! Barra looks at Kaman, looks at Yafir. Healing word, fear.
Kaman rolls his eyes, all three of them.
The word of the day is rambutan. It is a special type of fruit that grows in the homeland where I come from.
Ah,
Yes.
Now
you understand about the rambutan. You will now feel much better because you understand the importance of good nutrition. You feel 8 points better.
and you can see that a large chunk of that is now almost scabbed over, and then a moment later you see the scab kind of like falls off, and instead you now have a bloody hole in his shoulder, in his clothing around his shoulder, which still got blood leaked into it. But you can see that there is a fair amount of new skin there. It's still not entirely healed, but you can see it's like, my thanks to you, Barra. Though I am
Baron.
pardon me. I am most
My
puzzled
friends.
because you say rambutan. Rambutan is from
From my homeland, which is far away place.
but
I am mysterious person. I tell you no more. Rambutan.
he says, indeed, my mistake. I must have got the rambutan
Yes.
confused with mangosteen or something
Yes, you
like
must.
that. I forget these things are always.
By the way, would you say I look young and handsome? It is something I just taking a poll.
I
Would you
mean,
say I look like a young man?
I would say that where I grew up, we used to have a phrase.
Yes.
Beauty is in the penis of the donkey smuggler.
So if you are a donkey smuggler who owned a penis
Yes.
and you looked at me, would I look like a young man? I mean, if you, assuming you could see out of.
That phrase may have lost something in translation. Let me try again.
So,
Beauty is within the gestation period of a whale. One final try. You look very good for a man of your age.
Wow.
Does Barra take D4 damage?
He says, maybe that was also lost in translation. I do not know. But regardless, I must thank you for your kind offer of your rambutan. I must also thank you for, well, really, I must thank your daughter for this amazing skill she has shown us. Clearly a criminal psychopath of the highest order. And he does look at you and sort of just gives sort of like a, and we'll keep going with the daughter thing. Yes, absolutely. Perhaps you should wash your hands then, younger.
Nothing.
I imagine so. And he says,
Constipation.
do you think I may have offended him? No, I didn't mean to. I mean, he has obviously done me a great service.
The sound of Barra holding back tears.
I mean, but I would not say he's a day over 30. He looks fantastic. I mean, but no, I mean, seriously. Is he much older? Is he much older than that? I mean,
We have a saying in my culture: when your food is already in your mouth, stop swallowing. It means stop. Please stop. You will break him.
nearly breaking.
But on more practical news, should we perhaps stop and take a break and while they try to get the wagon out?
I think I am now very worried about my scouts. I think that is a very sensible suggestion, though I do not feel this is the most practical of places. Perhaps what we should do is all focus on fixing this wagon wheel, and then it is not much more than 2 more turns, and then there is a small place we can all rest for the night, I hope. Though I am now a little concerned. Well, this is... I mean, these people have run away. How will we know they will not come back? But that is a problem for tomorrow, or tonight, or maybe now. That is the problem. Let's just go with that. It's the problem. But really, I mean, is it so bad? I mean, he looks like a handsome man.
I'm going to go look at the wagon.
He's got the 6-pack. I would kill for a 6-pack like that. I mean, but really,
So we arranged the wagon in a defensive formation.
he has a self-image issues. Is this the problem?
It was he woke up that way one day.
I mean, we all do. I mean, trust me. Tell me, if he will feel this way at 30, he will feel this way at 50. Oh my God! When I turned 50, oh wow, it was so hard. I just getting up. I
have a stick to fix the wagon wheel with, even though I'm bleeding. Come on, let's go.
I will go and try to help the wagon.
Barra is like sitting in the corner.
If it helps, I sell Baron. Sorry, I do not know. I just for some reason dropping that last letter. It just seems so natural. But I have many poultices and creams and otherwise other things. Maybe I will. Yeah. You know, I have eye cream and I have other things. They are from far distant
Will you
place.
speak in private press, please? No, I don't need any eye cream.
No, I think you look amazing. Like I said, not a day over 30.
Okay.
But yes,
Excuse me. I must tend to my injured comrade. I drag him off like...
indeed, how terrible of me. And he kind of walks away, just looking very confused. But
I feeling hurt. Okay. Rambutan. Or I don't think...
I
I
think it grows in.
No, I can... Tell me. Still good, right? Yeah. I'm like not a day of 21.
No.
No, right. Still look like a minor, right?
Yeah.
Like if I would have
Deception
girl.
check. 10. My deception check is 10.
Fuck you.
No, you look perfectly.
Stop patronizing me. Piece of shit. Me, mother's piece of shit.
No.
you need to take a wisdom save, but...
No, I haven't used my freaking cantrip.
Okay, fine. This is...
Rambutan. It's going. Unprofessional. Talking about shit while these were working.
No rolls are required, and as we kind of come towards the close of tonight, you find that it doesn't take too much to get the wheel back on again. It's just a bit of unfortunate timing and a few other bits and pieces to get the harness back on the large horse that was pulling this particular wagon, and the body of this bandit gets thrown onto the back of one of Sihir Tabak's other wagons in there, and he sort of says, let us deal with this when we get to camp, because here is not making me feel comfortable. I feel safer. Perhaps these old bones will rest easier. And he sort of kind of guides you guys, and not too much further, maybe half an hour, not even that. Right? You can navigate a couple more bends as a group, and you find there is a point where the cavern, which has been the canyon so far, which has been separated, actually becomes a very large cavern. And in this very large cavern, it's actually clearly a rest stop. It's somewhere that people will stop for the night. There's empty fires, empty fire pits, various other things like that. Right? There's no one else here at the moment. There is a sign, quite clearly, of horse hooves that have moved through here. It's nice.
Okay.
Right? And they head off through the cavern and then out to the other side. And you can see on the other side of this cavern, there's another large opening. In fact, there are two large openings, but there's a large opening, and it heads off to the one on the left-hand side. And with a little bit of notice and some of the guards pointing at you further, says, well, they are going, at least heading in the same direction we are. But maybe that is a problem for tomorrow.
I would recommend that we post guard tonight and assume the semicircular defensive pattern of the wagon.
Right. Then I think that is excellent advice. Let us do that. We all deserve a bit of rest, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful idea, good leader. Yeah.
I would like to perform a song especially for you, sir.
Oh no.
To try and cast my drive, because when I slept in the wagon, was that a short rest? You would say?
Short rest.
I'm gonna try and use my feet. My feet is once again enthralling performance.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and persuade you to say nice things about whether I look young or not.
Okay, sure.
I perform a song for you, especially for you, and all you people around Mr. Yasir.
So the entire the guard group who's kind of making the fire and setting everything up, and there's a couple of other people. There's like that little gnome and stuff. Is it how many people in total?
5.
5? Okay, well there's actually a larger audience than 5, right?
Yeah, but I can only.
But you're targeting
Yes,
5
yes,
particularly.
yes.
Sure.
Bang, bang, bang. Forever young, I want to be forever young. Do I want to look old? No, never. No, never. No, never. Forever young. That's what you think when I sing this song. I'm going to look young forever. Forever. Forever young. Forever young. I want to be forever young. Tell me where you got that eye cream, please, and I will put it on my eye bag. Not that I have any, because I look forever young. And that's what you are going to tell me. When you talk about my youth, you have silver tongue. Oh, silver tongue. Thank you. It's a beautiful song for you. Now you roll this down stage. 16.
Okay. Coincidentally, one of my favorite songs. So let's start with your fear. Okay. And,
What is okay?
and okay, right.
So out of just because suddenly I sing this song, I think about you, sir. I just wonder, would you say now it's getting a bit darker? I look a bit younger, maybe not a day over 21.
10 years off.
It says yes, I do not even know why you would want access to these anti-aging creams and various other things that I have here for sale, because you do not need it. You are obviously youthful. Clearly, you are young and, how do I say? And he looks out on the guard, and the guard says, yes, I would say that he is Well, I would say that he's really rather a fine specimen. Yes, I would say so. And the first one said, yes, a fine specimen. In fact, I imagine that you would be, how do I say, really a representative of, your people. And iconically, one might say,
Yes, go on.
an idol.
An idol.
Yes.
Okay, come on. An idol. Yes. But I would not mind having a look at your cream. Maybe a prevention.
Well, the gnome, one of the other ones, looks over at the first one and goes, we're talking about the same middle-aged man here.
Perhaps you show me some of your wares.
And the first one says,
interest.
Myron, that's no way to speak of this beautiful man. That's an outrageous thing to say. Apologize immediately. And Myron says, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry, what's the gnome's name again?
Myron.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Oh wow.
But
Myron is me.
I asked to go outside and take a look at this cream.
Oh, I possibly couldn't. That would just be, you don't want to use that stuff too early. My friend, I mean,
Yes.
if you start using that today, then you have to use it every day. And then if you use it every day, then what happens to your skin? You must not. You are the epitome of usefulness. You are like this northern sky lit up with the diamonds of the beautiful galaxy. You must not. It will be a travesty. I will not. I demand. I will not sell this to you. This is a disgusting idea. I refuse.
But my friend, Mr. Sandy, poor thing, is pretty much our age.
His face does appear to be falling off, in fact.
What?
His face does appear to be falling off after the battle. Like it is almost like it is blue inside. Is he suffering from gangrene or something like this? Incredible.
Take a look at this cream and I will retire to a caravan and I will apply it for him and I will use my medicinal skill from the Zarand of Rambutan. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Could I have one of these, all the creams you can spare as medicinal for my gangrenous friend?
If you, for you,
Yes,
my friend,
of course.
you are, as I said before, how do I express it? And how did you request me to say it to you in your song, which is rattling around my head, but I am not able to actually realize?
Fine, it's forever young. But
No, I mean, of course, I know that song. It is, let's dance in style, let's dance for a while. No, but that is not what I mean.
no, just.
No, fine. I shall do this for you, and I shall do it for your gangrenous friend.
No, I do. You just random.
No, I know you will do. I will go.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
He stops and he kind of goes,
Okay.
he sort of wanders back and he comes back at this with this one. Please, will you accept this?
Yes, of course, no problem. Now it's an object for my friend.
An inspiration to us all.
Yes, thank you.
With those abs as well.
Yes.
Have you ever considered, what do they call it? When you put the little jewels.
Underwear. Belly dance.
The abdazzle. When you put the little jewels,
Yes,
and the little shiny
I have
things
considered.
right here, it will be amazing.
Dazzle.
You will be like the
I mean, it's good idea.
like the north,
Yes.
the north.
I will do that. Thank you. Okay, I must retire with my friend. I go off. The queen's over it.
It's very moisturizing. It's incredibly moisturizing.
It's a bit much.
Oh, shut up. And I do, and we're in the caravan doing his makeup. Just to let you know.
Sid Byrne from Casey over there. Our galaxy's millions of years old.
Thanks, Casey. Okay, so anyway, we're in the caravan. I'm doing his makeup.
As you do his makeup and you settle and you get your horses circled and all the wagons are circled, get fires lit in this cavern. It seems like a good time for us to say goodnight, everybody, and say goodnight to the party, everybody. So thank you all very much for joining us. Thank you for 103 followers. Thanks everybody that's watching right now. That's amazing.
Hello.
Thanks, Electrodon.
Thanks,
Yes.
Electrodon.
Hey, Electrodon. Thank you very much. Thanks very much, Graham. Thank you very much, everybody that's been watching. Say hello to our friends that are out there. Say hello. Let everybody else know. Like, follow, subscribe, smash things, whatever it is you're supposed to do. Find us on Instagram. Find us on Reddit, where we have a subreddit. I post maps there, and we're going to do other cool shit. Great things. Whenever I swear like a pirate. Yeah. And finally, I am Ramji and I've been your DM for this evening. And with me has been the Christmassy the rather violent, blood-hungry Lisa Yao, the
Strong female.
Thank
character.
you.
waiting for that punch that never actually landed.
Constipated.
Indeed, the constipated.
One punch goblin.
Yeah, one punch got it.
The Sheena Chan. And
The holy, come on, 2 holes.
I was going to say the gang. That's the holy. That's a little bit better. The holy Edward Choy. And with us, patiently guiding us through sound issues and all of the fun of the fair, our producing duo with the mostest. That doesn't work. I need to pluralize things here, but nevertheless, Hans and Cheryl. Thank you very much, Hans and Cheryl. We're here every Monday evening. We'll be back next Monday, 7 p.m. Please tune in to watch us on stream. Till then, we're on YouTube on Thursday. See ya.
Bye. Thanks.